Good morning, everybody. It's 7 a.m. on Thursday, October 7th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see cloudy skies with a high of 86. Coming up on OTB, presented by All-Star Toyota, Jeff Duncan of NOLA.com joins the show at 7:30 to talk Saints. And at 9:30, we talk college football with former Georgia quarterback Aaron Murray. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or you can watch us live on YouTube for new content posted every day. You can also check us out on Cox Sports Television. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome in to this October 7th edition of Off the Bench. It is Thursday. The weekend is officially here, and we are here to kick it off with you. You go to work this morning. We're going to have a great day. Hope you have a little fun on the way to work this morning. You're watching from work, wherever you're watching from. We hope you're having a great day. And it's going to be, like I said, a banger. No Chef Michael Johnson today. He had to just take this week off. We will miss Chef, but like we said, we got Jeff Duncan, Aaron Murray. We got a ton of football to talk about. Mason Plumlee, maybe the worst rapper you've ever seen. There's some drama on the show last night. Your guy, why can I never remember his freaking name? Who is the head coach of the Chargers right now?
I'm not even Brandon
Staley.
Thank you.
Okay. Your boy had maybe the best answer I've ever heard for running the ball and why it matters in the modern game. And it is so shockingly relevant to LSU that I think it bears a lot of discussion today. So we're going to break that down as well as LSU.
I'm loving all the Bush League Bolt content we're getting on the show here.
Big one for y'all this weekend, too. It's the Cleveland Browns. It's going to be a banger, one of the best matchups in the entire NFL, which we will go over today. We'll look at the best matchups for college. Another great slate in college. I love a lot of the favorites this weekend, but we'll get into that. We'll get into NFL. We'll get into a lot as we look forward to the football weekend that begins tonight with an NFC West banger, Seahawks-Rams. So what a great
College
Thursday
game
it is. Who's playing tonight in college?
Tulane and Houston.
Okay. I still have trouble getting too into the.
Yeah, and Tulane's 1-4.
Yeah,
that Oklahoma near victory. Didn't really end up doing what I thought it was going to do.
No, unfortunately not. It's been a rough look. It's been a rough go for Louisiana football. Okay, it really has. And even the New Orleans Saints, who sit here at 500 with a huge matchup with the Washington football team, kind of bearing down on them. Yeah. 3-1, and maybe everything would be different, but alas, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a happy Christmas. Right now, let's, don't look at me like that, Mario. That's an actual saying. I agree with you. Very old, though. When I guess you would just get candy and nuts for Christmas, and you would be very excited about it.
I like it.
Right now, let's dive into some headlines.
OTB headlines are brought to you by Barbecue Guys. Barbecue Guys, for those who are born to grill. Visit bbqguys.com to learn more.
In LSU football news, good news here is Keishawn Butte returned to practice as a full participant. Love hearing that. Trey Palmer also returned to practice. He was in a gold jersey. Rodarius Jones and Darren Evans returned as well, while Major Burns and Joseph Evans remained out. Major Burns is officially out for Kentucky, meaning Todd Harris get the start. And then in the weirdest practice tidbit that I've seen, Coy Moore repped a couple times with running back.
It's not as weird as you would think. If you go back to the spring, remember in the spring game, he played a lot of running back in that game. They were basically in zero personnel. They had no backs and no tight ends, but he became the running back in that formation. They actually had a couple of plays where they gave him the ball out of the backfield. We saw, Jefferson Chase do that in 19. Coy Moore, I thought was actually going to be part of the game plan coming into this year, but he was the receiver that did that. Not that you were diving into the spring game, but I called it. That's the only reason that I called it.
Obviously, I made a lot of conclusions, too, from a small sample size. But so maybe it's not weird in that there's precedent for it. But, again, it's weird because why? It's not like you don't have bodies at the running back position. Like, you have bodies. It's also not like the actual quality of the running backs is what's really held the running game back that much. I just don't understand what the idea behind it is.
I would assume it's just to run them on a free release, no protection responsibility, flat, flare, seam.
So you're saying it's like a commentary on the rest of the back's ability to catch out the backfield.
Not even catch, just I run something else, run something different. I don't know, but they got to try something. They got to try something from someone out of the backfield, because even throwing the football, like, we know they can't run the football. I mean, we could spend literally this 3-hour show talking about the inability of LSU to run the football, but also, like, you haven't given the backs the ball in space in the passing game either, and that's something that I'd love to see come back. I mean, it's such a big part of your offensive success 2 years ago.
In New Orleans Saints news, Tony Jones Jr., following his injury, has now moved to injured reserve. And the Saints have signed 2 new running backs. That includes Devine Ezigbo, a name that a lot of Saints fans will recognize from camp a couple of years ago with the Jags last year, played in all 18 games, was back on the Jags practice squad this year, and the Saints now have him back. They also added Raquel Armstead to the practice squad, so Ezigbo's on the active roster, Armstead on the practice squad. He was actually slotted to have a big role in Jacksonville last year, and sucks for him. He ends up getting COVID. It goes really badly. He was hospitalized, had all sort of problems with it, so he loses that opportunity. He signed with the Giants. He got cut there. He's now with the New Orleans Saints. So Ezigbo and Armstead, let's see what role they have to play. If you're going to watch some LSU baseball this weekend, how about it, dude? Jay Johnson and company opening up to the public. Friday at 6:30 p.m. they'll have a scrimmage. Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Nice little pregame activity there if you want. And then Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Gates will open 15 minutes before the scrimmage. Admission and parking are free. Hell yeah.
So Hunt's going to be there.
Go watch Razelman.
Without question, Hunt Palmer will be there probably for all 3.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Looks like it's, it feels nice outside.
Yeah. I might check. Sunday's not a bad deal. I might check out Sunday.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'll be in Lexington on Friday and Saturday.
11:30 is a little close to red zone time, so I don't know.
That is true.
It's some NFLPA news.
Phone, maybe. Phone in the box. Watching on your phone.
I'm probably just not going to go.
Yeah, it's a solid note from T-Bob.
In the NFLPA news, DeMaurice Smith's time as executive director, Jake, could be coming to an end. So they took a vote.
Oh, he started?
Tuesday night to determine whether or not he remained on the job that he's had for the past 12 years. They needed a unanimous 14 vote approval that would have kept him in that job with a new 3-year deal. However, the vote ends up being split 7-7. So now it goes to the NFLPA's 32-team player representatives. They have a vote, conference call vote, scheduled for 6 p.m. Eastern this Friday, and he needs at least 22 of the 32 votes to be retained. If not, the NFLPA executive director job will be officially open.
And I'm okay with it. There's plenty of players that have played in the past. And again, remember, you don't have to be a name. I'm not saying go get a name. Plenty of former players that are very, very intelligent, lawyers, doctors, whatever it might be, that could handle this job that I would love to see in that role. They know what the players go through. They know the ins and outs. They know the trials and tribulations of being a player, what the players' needs are after they retire, because that's what the NFLPA has done the worst job in my opinion, is taking care of the former players, not reaching out to them. Too many of my former teammates have had bad situations because they just had no assistance from the NFLPA. So I'd love to see a former player in that position just because they would have a better idea of what you go through.
Was DeMaurice Smith not a former player?
No.
Am I crazy?
He's a lawyer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's kind of shocking. And the MLB playoffs in Los Angeles last night, it was just a stellar wild card NL game as kind of maybe some would say some sort of baseball justice taking place as the Dodgers managed to advance to the full-on playoffs behind a bottom of the ninth, 2-out, Chris Taylor 2-run walk-off home run. If you haven't seen the highlight, it was an incredible moment. Congrats to the Dodgers, I guess. I still hate everything LA, so I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, I was full disclosure and hoping they lose. Actually, I was hoping both teams could lose because it's the Cardinals and Dodgers, but I knew they couldn't happen. I was hoping the Dodgers would lose. It helps out the team that I root for, but it would have kind of been, it'd been very unfair if they would not have had a chance at a postseason series at least. And now the poor Giants, who had the best record in Major League Baseball, they have to go against the Dodgers.
And maybe it would have been unfair, but also didn't. I mean, isn't the Dodgers roster kind of unfair in how they've just signed everybody? So it's like whatever. But they got through, so good on them. In the New Orleans Pelicans preseason last night, the Pelicans dominate the Orlando Magic 104-86. Trey Murphy dropped 20 more. Nah dropped 19. Valanciunas goes for 13 and 9. Pelicans are a playoff team. Everybody's talking about it. Stephon, no. I don't think people are talking about it. I am, though. Mario, are you buying in?
Yeah.
Oh, a little bit.
see.
I like the young talent and tempering my expectations, but Trey Murphy's looking good out there, man.
Trey Murphy looks great. In Stephon Gilmore news, I haven't seen the details on this deal yet, so I apologize, but it seems that the Carolina Panthers are going to be the ones that end up with Stephon Gilmore. Sweet. So if you didn't think that Panthers team looked good enough in matchup number 1, now you're going to have to contend with Dante Jackson and Stephon Gilmore on the edges. That's intense. That's going to be brutal. Very hard to throw against. In LSU soccer news, LSU returns to LSU Soccer Stadium looking to get off the slide. They're playing host to Texas A&M tonight. They're going to be wearing pink jerseys for breast cancer awareness. Also, Dollar Dogs are back, baby. 6 p.m. tonight. LSU's lost 3 in a row. Ole Miss, UJ, and Bama. They need this one. A&M also 1-3 in the SEC. How about this little fun series fact? These two teams have met 12 times. A&M has won 11. It's time to change that. Let's go, Coach Sean Hudson and company. And finally, I'm getting hyped for this, boys. I will be, hopefully, maybe they'll have it on Don Juan's. I don't know. I got to figure out somewhere to watch it because I don't know if I want to buy it myself. But Fury Wilder 3 this Saturday night. Are you kidding me? The press conference is going on right now. There's all kinds of trash talking. Deontay Wilder still saying that Tyson Fury doctored his gloves. Obviously, Fury say that's ridiculous. Like, you have members of your camp that are still in your camp that checked out my gloves for the fight. Whatever. It's getting chippy. It's getting nasty. And I can't wait to see Fury Wilder 3. And that's going on this Saturday night.
Yeah, I'm going to miss this one. I'll be on a flight back to Baton Rouge. But when you look at it, Fury's someone that's definitely more technical boxer than you're going to get from Wilder. Wilder has obviously the haymaking right hand. He's relied on it. It's done him well in the past. But as we saw in the first fight, Tyson Fury is one of the few people that can survive that right hand. I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
I thought he was done.
Yeah.
And then he gets up like the Undertaker, and he goes in and he wins the fight there. So very intriguing matchup. Not many times in the last 15, 20 years do we get a heavyweight boxing match that we're excited about. It's crazy, you know, in the 90s and in the 80s. Like, you got so many great heavyweight matches. You haven't had them. This is the best you're going to get. And it's good.
I love this quote. Tyson Fury, more like Tyson Buddha. Because, you know, Deontay Wilder's been very angry in the run-up to this fight. And Fury said, quote, "Those who hold hot coals with aggression are the ones who get burned." Oh, okay. Okay, Tyson. We'll see Saturday night. Also, as much as I want to cheer for Wilder because he's an American, we all know where his hometown is. Tuscaloosa. Sorry, bro. Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Can't do
Won't
it.
do it.
Headlines are in the books. Coming up next, talk about the show last night. And again, that I keep wanting to say Deuce Staley. Brandon Staley.
Stop it.
Answer on running the ball and why it matters. And it's very relevant to LSU fans with the current experience you are going through. So keep it locked here. More OTB coming up next.
If you were born to grill, you have to go to Barbecue Guys for all your grilling and outdoor living needs. With the largest selection of top grills and outdoor products and best-in-class customer service, Barbecue Guys has it all. Visit bbqguys.com. That's bbqguys.com. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to AdvantaClean.com, AdvantaClean.com for all your fire damage, water damage, mold damage. You want to go to AdvantaClean. 369-5228 is the number, 369-5228. Look, the bottom line is anything goes wrong, okay? Anything at all, like fire damage, water damage, mold damage, you call AdvantaClean, and it's one call to solve it all. Because not only do they fix the problem, but they document it, and then they deal with the insurance company for you. How about that? So go to AdvantaClean and don't get overwhelmed. Just fire damage, water damage, mold damage. You already know. One answer, AdvantaClean.
Yeah, AdvantaClean.com is the site. Remember, they can do so many different things. T-Bob gave you the mold removal, water damage. They can sanitize your business. They can clean your air ducts, whatever it might be. You can find a full list of services on the website at AdvantaClean.com. Right now, if you want to get your full business sanitized, that's something you can take advantage of. Again, check them out online, AdvantaClean.com, AdvantaClean.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Ryan Clark's in studio. We'll have our Fantasy Blitz and a closer look at the Kentucky Wildcats. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. T-Bob, Jake Marr, Danny hanging out with you today. Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday on this October 7th, 2021. And Jake, it's the news cycle it can always be a bit odd, especially in times of adversity. And we got an odd one right now as last night on the O Show, a caller called in. I guess was basically talking about his sister's in the audience, 20-year-old blonde, blah, blah, blah. And he got through the pre-screening process. He goes on to tell Coach O something like, don't have sex with her, something along those lines. They cut him off. And then O was like, I want to say this, down the bayou, we have fishing holes for people like that. And the reaction to this has been fascinating. I mean, look, first off, obviously, in the position that Coach O was in, the ideal PR way to handle these things is to not engage. I mean, you just never win by engaging, right? It's the same thing that I struggle with all the time in this job every day, where it's like people are ripping on you on Twitter or YouTube. And although I know for a fact that engaging never works, it never does anything, right? It just makes you look stupid. It makes you look like you're mad online. It gives whoever trolled you credence. It gives them life. It's why they did it in the first place. And I know all of this. I know all this from years and years of doing this job. I give in sometimes, and I'm still not, I still sometimes respond and engage. So, obviously, you should not engage. You shouldn't engage. My other problem is, though, you have people running so far with this. Like, I had somebody come up in this building this morning when I got in here, and they were like, did you hear Coach O? Did you hear Coach O offer a death threat against a fan? And I was like, whoa, dude, I mean, come on, dude. What kind of pearl clutching are we doing here? Is it dumb? Absolutely. Is it a true death threat against a fan? No. Yeah. It's like when I quote tweet somebody and say, like, your mom, basically, okay? It's really dumb. It makes me look dumb, but it's not serious. So, like, if you're anybody out there and you're sitting there like, I can't believe it's a death. He's out here making death threats. I mean, come on, dude. Come on. Stop with the clutch. It's crazy to me. You're not being very genuine.
Yeah, and I agree with everything you said. I do. Like, obviously, in that situation, you just got to let it loose. You got to cut wherever the caller was and then just kind of move on. And that's what CB was trying to do there. And, I don't know how I would have reacted in that moment. I mean, I told you last night, I was a turd. I was Phillip Rivers on the flag football field last night. And I'm, like, catching myself like, what are you doing? Like, chill out. Like, just stop. Like, I don't want to be that person, but sometimes it happens, right?
Yeah.
And so it happened last night. And I agree with you. Like, just don't engage in it, because we all have trolls on the internet. We have trolls in the chat, whatever. It's fine. And sometimes we engage, sometimes we don't.
Yeah.
But in that position, you'd like
But engaging never works.
It never does.
Like, what is the best part about engaging? That other people that agree with you hop in your mentions and agree with you? It means nothing. It doesn't make you feel any better about the situation. Negative criticism just has a way of kind of sticking into your head and biting more than positive things do. A lot of times, it's just like human nature. Positive things are just water off your back. So, like, you never actually win. You never feel better. There's, like, some great lessons to be learned about revenge and all this stuff when it comes to responding to people online. And so, yeah, look, is it a bad, unprofessional look? Sure. Yes.
Right.
Undoubtedly.
And I told you.
But just don't run too far with this thing. Just also don't be the, it's a death threat guy.
I mean, if that was Joey Hester on the other end, he would have pulled the old, hey, how about you come down here, TJ Ribs, see about how big a boy you are. That's what my dad would have said the same thing. Like, I get
my
it.
old man.
The Cajun Cannon probably had a lot of the same thoughts.
I've seen it. I've definitely seen it firsthand. But yes, certainly in the context of everything else with the losses, like the Sissy Blue shirt comment from earlier this year, all the rumors flying over the mess. Like, yeah, none of it is good. It all adds to the bad pie. But again, let's just be, like, genuine in how you treat this story and about, like, what really happened. So it's not like a secret phone call recording of, like, if you don't shut up, like, I'm literally going to hire someone to kill you. That, like, relax. Okay. All right. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, and this has to do with LSU football in a different way. Here is an answer from Chargers coach Brandon Staley, one of the hottest, youngest coaches on the scene. Like we said, it's weird. He
Proud of
looks
you,
so tiny. Well, but because that's just because my brain is dumb. And he looks so tiny and young. Again, I said this last week, but I feel it even more now. But he looks so tiny and young that, like, when you see him and you know he's the head coach of a football team, you're like, dude, that dude is smart. Like, he must be able to coach his ass off. That man is the leader of an NFL team. Here's what and for LSU fans that are desperately missing a running game and the impact there. And here is the best modern football answer that I've ever heard about the value and role of the running game in today's game.
What I think that the running game does for a quarterback is it gives you some breathers. And, you don't need a good running game to be a good play-action team, but what you need the running game for is the physical element of the game. There's a physicality to the game that's real, right? If you're just a passing team, okay, there's a physical element to the game that the defense doesn't have to respect, okay? And that's the truth, okay? Because the data will tell you don't need a run game to play pass. You don't need that. But what the running game does for you, it brings a physical dimension to the football game. And what the running game does that the passing game does not is the running game forces the defense to play blocks and to tackle. That happens on a run play. You must play blocks and you must tackle. In the passing game, those things don't have to happen, right? You don't have to play as many blocks, right? And you may not have to tackle based on incomplete or not. So what the running game does is it really challenges your physicality. And that's why I think the run game is important to a quarterback, is because it's going to allow him literally to have more space to operate when you do throw the football, okay? It's not that you need the run game to throw it. It's just what it gives the rest of your skill players. And
Damn. I mean, I got goosebumps. Tell me that dude wasn't just spot on in so many different ways. Like, he just summed up exactly how I've been feeling about the problem situations that Max Johnson is being put in, right? Like, why it's been so hard on Max at times this year, because every single play, everything is on him. And it's with the defense that can completely pin back its ears, because like he's talking about there, they don't have to play blocks. They don't have to worry about some of the fundamentals of football that the running game makes you honor. I mean, how about how he starts it off just talking about giving the QB a break? Just a play, just a play, break. Yeah, just like a play where he doesn't have to make every correct decision for the drive to stay alive. I mean, I have never heard a more, what's the word I'm looking for? Just simple and direct and easy to understand answer about, even if you're not good at running the ball, why running the ball still matters in today's game.
It absolutely matters, and I loved his answer. Look, you have to worry about so many things when you're running the football, or when you're having it run against you. And he said it exactly right. Like, you have to be so gap sound, and you can't be out of your gaps. Like in the passing game, like sometimes you can be out of your gaps. Sometimes like you're only seeing one side of the field, whatever that might be. But in the running game, you have to do it exactly like you're taught to do it. Yeah. You have to do it like you're coached up, because we've all seen, like, it can be 10 guys doing the right thing, and that 11th guy on a zone crashes too hard and gives up the backside. The running back finds it, and he's going 80 the other way. Like, that's just the way it is. And can you have busted coverages in the pass game? You can, but there's more moving parts, is his point, in the running game. It's just, look, just run the ball. Just run the damn ball. Just run the ball.
Run the ball. I also love the idea that he talks about the physical element, something that is both obvious in football and maybe somewhat ignored at times nowadays. And disappointingly, Jake, this is something me and the Cannon were talking about, but you've just never seen an LSU O-line this soft. I mean, in terms of physicality. I mean, no power at the point of attack, not pushing guys around, just not inflicting any damage on anyone. So that's where this becomes a bit disappointing. Is like, can you even... I mean, like Staley's talking about, you have to run the ball at times just because you have to. But I wonder, like, can you even force the physical issue that you're trying to accomplish, even if you're not running the ball well, just making them be physical? LSU just doesn't really deliver that punch this year, unfortunately. But yeah, running the ball matters, and Staley summed it up perfectly.
You know, that's something, and the way he said it, like, obviously we knew there was a lot on Max's plate.
He's so smart.
Yeah, he's way smarter than. And when you were looking for a word, you looked over here like, I'm not a wordsmith. There's no chance I could have gave you the word that you're looking for at all. But like, it takes so much off the quarterback's plate. And I knew Max was dealing with a lot, trying to get in the perfect play and look at the side, all that stuff. But he's exactly right. Like, it gives you a mental break as a quarterback to hand the ball off, gain positive yards, and then you can kind of, okay, now let's go. And you're not always trying to get into this perfect play and trying to do three things in the RPO system. Like Matt said on Wednesday, like, an RPO should be a easy pass and catch for a quarterback because I'm going to hand it, I'm going to pull it, I'm going to throw the glance. Yeah. But when you are running concepts within the RPO, it does so many things because the quarterback doesn't have the ability to get to his depth.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you're throwing from normally, like, you're taking a drop and you're throwing from 7-8 yards, but when you're running the RPO with concepts, you're throwing at 5 yards. So what do you have? You have more bodies in front of your face that are right there almost at eye level, even if you're 6'5" like Max Johnson, and you can't read it like you normally would because just based purely off your depth, you don't have the opportunity to do so. And then you got to make a quick decision because the rush, by the way, if you're running all those RPOs, they know your spot. Like, if I'm a defensive end and I know my spot's at 5 yards, just like if you're rushing a punt when I was playing, like, we knew this punter likes to punt it at 11, this one likes to punt it at 10, not whatever that was.
Yeah, you're rushing to the spot.
We're rushing to the spot.
Yeah.
Right? We know the book is out on where your spot's going to be. If I'm an end and your spot's at 5 yards compared to 8 yards, well, there's a lot of things that open up now because now, I can use my moves and do whatever, but also that brings in a bull rush.
Yeah.
Because you're at 5 yards compared to 8. I can bull you for 5 yards.
Absolutely.
Right? I can threaten you with a move, bull you to 5 yards, and even that changes. So there's so many different things that this concept right now brings to a defense that gives them the advantage, in my opinion, than it gives you the advantage.
I'll be interested to see if anything changes this weekend in terms of style and attack from LSU. Got to imagine the look to sideline stuff's going to be gone, but only time will tell. Coming up next, let's talk to our guy Jeff Duncan of NOLA.com. Times Week. You've been doing an excellent piece on succession and what's going on with the Saints and the Saints and Pelicans franchises. Also, Jeff's going to maybe offer up some reasons to believe this Saints team's going to be just fine. They have the potential to be. So keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com for all of your new car desires. Go see what All-Star Toyota can offer you. Okay, they're right there off of Airline, and you can just go in and show up and check the selection out firsthand. It's always fun, and there's something to be said, I think, for getting in there and just dealing with people face to face. But if you just want to go on the website, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, they have all the deals right there on the flippers at the top. You can click on new inventory, used inventory. You need to schedule any service, anything like that. Chat with people live on the site, text box. It's all there. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Support Off the Bench. Support All-Star Toyota.
As you can see right there in the top of the website, click on Rent a Toyota. It's going to pull up, and it's going to pull up that per-day pricing. Like right now, you can get a Camry for $65 per day. You can get Sequoia for $90. You can get a Tundra for $85. Like, it's all different pricing depending on what vehicle you need, and they've got them all. Check it out at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Thanks, you're ready.
Reggie's in the window.
Barbecue guys, born to grill.
Pops, how many steaks you want?
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, Hunt, and Hill, the early line. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living.
It's week 6 in the prep football season, and we get you started Friday with Louisiana Prep Preview at 6. Catholic High and East Ascension kick off at 7, immediately followed by a full 2 hours of Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on YouTube, CST, and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Shout out everyone in chat watching. Go ahead and hit the like button. A lot of debate going on over the comments in the O Show last night. I do think this is true because I've experienced this too. I think the caller hit a little close to home, right? Anytime, because that's generally when you respond to this kind of stuff is when you get stung a little bit. Like that's, if you ever see me getting mad at someone online, chances are if you see what they said, you can know that they kind of got me a little bit. They got me in my feelings a little bit. Yeah, I mean, when do you respond? Not when you don't care, right?
There's no free shots.
It's when somebody. What do you mean?
You shoot a shot, I'm shooting back
every time.
I'm bad.
Every time.
It
just
bad.
Does, it never looks good though. It never works out. I'm saying, what's the goal?
That's fine. To make me feel better about it. What do you mean?
Okay.
There's no free shots. What's my man Big Fave always say? Like, let me rib on you real quick, all right?
Yeah, but Big Fave's horrible at ribbing.
He's bad at it, but he always says it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
He always says count me down, and then he never says anything.
No. Hey, count me down, T. And then you get there, he's like, oh, what's up?
Exactly.
Okay.
Or he's just like, your breast steak.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
I'm not a good example because
okay. Well,
plenty of trolls
I'm
on
just
Twitter.
speaking for myself. The stuff that does stick with me is when it's stuff that I'm already kind of insecure about, and I know I'm messing up, and someone stings me. So I do think the caller stung him a little bit. Again, I do think it's kind of funny that the people reacting the most extreme to this are a lot of the same people that I've heard complain consistently about how sensitive people are nowadays and can't believe how everybody makes such a big deal out of everything. So that's a little ironic.
Yeah, Rivers said, I troll T-Bob all the time. Rivers trolls me too.
Yes. Rivers is sometimes a chaos agent at times.
I mean,
which is great for the show.
I mean, yeah.
Great for dynamics, but yeah, she'll have us.
I'm going to pull a T-Bob real quick, and I'm going to bring something that happened off the air, on the air. So last night, the SEC Network posted memories of the LSU Florida game, and it like had a picture 4th and Hester, and so I reposted it as well. And River shoots me a message, nice farmer's tan.
Wow,
like,
always, dude.
Always. I mean, haters hate.
Pop, 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 pop. How about? Well, don't worry. We're gonna make Rivers be Shrek Fiona.
Yeah, we are.
We're gonna make her be Ogre Fiona,
Yep.
and I cannot.
Yes.
Wait, we're gonna have to. Everybody in the audience, everybody. Danny, you're shaking your head like she's not gonna do it.
Well, we got to put it to a vote.
Needs to
everybody. We said that everybody, including Rivers, I think, gets a vote on what our Halloween costume should be.
So we'll do that Friday.
So how are we going to do that there? Because Twitter only allows you 4 slots.
Well, I was talking about us doing an in-house vote. I wasn't talking about opening it up to the people.
Oh, I thought
maybe
we were opening it up to the listeners.
I've been reading a lot of Revolutionary War era literature, and I'm not sure that I trust in general democracy. I trust in the elite few with the kind of illusion of general democracy. Not necessarily illusion. That's not entirely fair. But the point is, I don't know if I want to trust it to the people. Danny, what I see you nodding your head. What do you want to say?
No, I agree with you.
Okay. Yeah. I think we should keep it in here. Okay, you know what? Let's go full bureaucracy. Let's have a vote on how to do the vote.
God.
So we'll have a vote on whether or not the vote should be opened up to the public. Now we're getting it.
Go back.
This
Hold
is
on.
government. This is how it works.
No, it is. It is. What do you read? What'd you say you're reading?
I'm in a random revolutionary era phase right now where I just finished The Quartet, which is about like Washington, Madison, John Jay, and Robert Morris, and how they transformed kind of, the original. So you have the Revolution, the Confederation of the United States starts then.
Right.
They transformed it. They remade the Constitution in 1786 and basically make the country as we know it today. So it was about that process, getting the new Constitution passed and all this other stuff. And then there's The Hero of Two Worlds by Mike Duncan, which is about the Marquis de Lafayette, who is American Revolution and French Revolution. Oh. And then I'm reading His Excellency, which is another great Joseph Evans book about Washington. Very quick, but just all about
is
George
that an
Washington.
offensive line thing? So I interviewed Harry Miller, who plays at Ohio State. Very talented offensive lineman. He's on like the All-State Good Works team, and so we're talking about that. He actually has an NIL deal where he receives money to give to charity, and he started a school or gives money to a school. I believe his name's Harry Miller.
Hell yeah, Harry Miller. That's awesome.
From Buford, Georgia, but plays at Ohio State.
He went to Buford. Wow.
He knew all the snappers.
Yeah.
All of them. All the snappers. That covers everybody. But he's like, so I was reading some Indonesian ancient scripts, and I'm like,
I ain't got any Sanskrit.
Dude, he said it, and me and EJ are sitting there looking at him like that's normal to you? And he just kept going, like not like paused or anything. I'm like, man, you offensive lineman, you're built different. And he like goes, it was the most impressive interview I've ever had in my life.
Wow, hell yeah, dude. Who's this?
Harry Miller.
Harry Miller.
Offensive
Also,
lineman for Ohio State.
What a funny, and I guess T-Bob's the same way, so glass houses, but what a funny name, like a dumb guy name. Harry Miller. That's as like basic and dumb guy and blue collar of a name as you could possibly get. But then again, T-Bob, I bear. Not.
Yeah, he gave 25. Like he raised $25,000 for a school in Nicaragua, I believe was where it was. I'll have to double check that. Yeah, like they paid for the first year of the school, like to run and to be functional. It was amazing.
Wow, hell yeah, man.
So vote for him for the captain of the All-State Good Works team.
Also, if you're into this, I don't know if you are, but ESPN is having a vote right now on who is the best college town and college atmosphere, and the finalists are Penn State and LSU. And Penn State's going to be showing up on those polls. So go on Twitter, and if you want to, you can go vote on that as well. Snow says, if you can't take trolls coming from you, you're not built to be a public figure. Edo doesn't want to get trolled. Simple. Resign. He can go to that special fishing hole and not have to worry about it. I mean,
there's different ways to handle a troll too. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be like condescending back to them. You can go, too far with a troll as well. Like you can ignore it. Like, you can do whatever you want. I mean, but obviously, I agree. Like if you're a public figure, like you do have to, you have to handle things a little bit different. Like there's some things like that I would like to say that you gotta scale back a little bit.
What if he had just said too late to the guy? I mean, that would have been pretty good. That would have been pretty good, but hey, what are you gonna do?
There's
shout out to the guy too for calling in as J-Boy. just really muddying the waters.
Is that Jake Crane?
And now Jake Crane's having to defend himself on Twitter. Talking about, I don't know, I did not call in to the show. Yeah, as Champ says, nothing worse than a troll. Right. Our resident living under the bridge, slime covered, poop smelling troll, Champ himself, who we love. I mean that all very I guess as warmly as you can. But even he gets to us sometimes. So I mean, it's interesting how the
Champ,
human
you don't get to me.
Dude, there's been a couple times recently where I think he's kind of rankled us a little bit.
No, he's our guy though.
He is our guy. I know.
I would flat back him, but he's our guy.
Yeah, exactly. But he trolls so hard.
Shout out to Champ.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody hanging out in the chat. A lot of y'all in there. Okay. When we get back, I'm going to show you. And this is a hard title to claim because there's been so many of them through the years. But I think we have a new worst athlete rapper of all time. It's embarrassing. And we'll break it down next here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, 925-8552. I think the Hesters and the A-Bears may be going to getting a little Mexican later. Hell yeah, man.
Yep.
Never know what that might do to the plumbing back home then.
Nope.
So you got to be careful. If anything goes wrong, though, I know what I'm doing. I'm calling Central Plumbing. Don't matter. Very easy. Very easy. See you shaking your head back there, Danny. Call Central Plumbing if you got any problems. 925-8552, centralplumbing.org.
If you call them, ain't going to be no problems.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's probably a favorite on T-Bob's contact list. That's fine because they'll be there every single time. 225-925-8552 is the number. But like we tell you every single day, it's not the only thing they do is to help T-Bob in a bad situation. Yeah. They can help you as well.
They got a lot of cars.
A lot of cars.
A lot of cars.
That's anything commercially you have, they can handle that as well. Bathroom remodels, don't forget about that. They'll come in, consultate you on what you can do to upgrade your bathroom. You can find all that information at centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
I've got that blue sky. I've got that sunshine.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at patientplusuc.com, you can...
Wednesday's edition of Hunt and Hill coming at you. We'll hear from Ed Orgeron as he meets with the LSU teleconference. And did Jeremy's Evil Empire get it done? We're talking about it. Hunt and Hill, noon to 2 weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB 104.5 ESPN Cogent is the word I was looking for.
Yeah,
We're talking about Staley.
Cogent was right there as one I was going to try to help you with. My wife just texted me, stop making up words, so I don't even know which word I tried to make up. That's
I don't know either.
Yeah, it's... Oof.
Cogent, though, means it's cogent of an argument or case, clear, logical, and convincing. I would say that definitely applies to how Staley laid out the running game earlier this hour. Succinct as well. Anonymous poster, succinct to play as well because he did deliver a dense message very well and quickly.
We need to maybe even play that again before we get out of here today.
I agree. Oh yeah. For anybody missing, I agree. I mean, it's as relevant to LSU as anything that I've seen over the past couple weeks. Dr. Shin asked me if I microwave my honey buns. It's not generally no, because that means that the honey bun has to make it home.
White icing?
Yeah, I
honey
do.
bun?
I do actually like a full frosted
Hostess.
where one side is fully iced out.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. You're not a Neanderthal, so I get it. Yeah.
I mean, and the other thing is, it's again, I just can't make it to the microwave, right? I mean, I guess I get a lot of gas stations you can just microwave it there, but gas station microwave smells always a little weird, right? There's a lot of different food being heated up in those things, and I'm not the biggest fan, personally. All right, right now let's look at this video that I found online. I guess Mason Plumlee is a rapper. Have you seen this, Mario? Mason Plumlee might be the worst rapping athlete of all time. I'll let you judge, though. Here is.
Hold on. I'm pulling up right now.
Oh my gosh.
I met Mason Plumlee one time.
Like we didn't just have the conversation. Yes, was that Mario?
I said I met Mason Plumlee one time.
Oh yeah.
They had the college version of the dunk contest and the 3-point contest on Tulane's campus, and he was a cool guy.
Did you call him a Plum Dog Millionaire?
I did not call him that, no.
Oh, he calls himself Plum Dog Millionaire in the rap.
Really?
Which, that's actually pretty solid. I do like Plum Dog Millionaire.
Ready.
It's ready? All right, let's play.
Around, Mason Plumlee with a crown. With the water boy, Bobby Boucher. Evian bottles on replay. No Cuvée, no Douce. That agua needs 2 trays at the Rangers game. Hey, I side with no lanes. Already on the bench, get my boy Roush that 10-day. Benjamin Franklin is killing the game. It's your boy Plums, that's my name. Money gun, what? I'm Plum Dog Millionaire with no aim. Benjamin Franklin is killing the game. CJ the game. Hey, what up, Hobie? Hey, look at my jersey, I'm the one and only. Hey, tell the Russians I said hundreds only. Like Moss said, straight cash, homie. Me and Franklin, we will clone. It was love at first sight with that college loan. I smash on my last song. Look, I don't rap, but when it wrong. Benjamin Franklin is killing the game. Who that? Who that? Who that? Around, Mason Plumlee with a crown.
What did we just watch and listen to?
Was that
Benjamin Franklin killing the game?
As he's shooting ones,
Ones.
which is a whole different. I mean, that's just
George
a small.
Washington.
That's a small detail in all of the bad. Is that the entire song is Benjamin Franklin killing the game, which is a horrible sounding hook too. By the way, if you have millions of dollars, you should be able to trip and fall into a better produced song and video than this. Danny could sit here and film me for a day, and I can't rap at all, and I guarantee it would come out looking higher production value and better than whatever this is. Who was Mason Plumlee's boy? How did Mason Plumlee get convinced that that guy makes good beats or is a good rap? Like what kind of mind ninja Rasputin powers does that guy have on Slumdog Millionaire?
That was like a Lonely Island attempt.
Yes, it was like it was satirical in how it felt. Benjamin Franklin is killing the game, and he's doing that weird thing with his hands. Shout out Plumdog Millionaire, though. Put yourself out there. Maybe I'll go as Plumdog Millionaire for Halloween. Hour 2 next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to GoTrosOutdoorPower.com, GoTrosOutdoorPower.com. If you want to buy any Hustler equipment, you want to go to Louisiana's #1 Hustler dealer, and that is out there at GoTros. And they are some hustlers over there at GoTros, and they understand that the hustle is providing your customers with the best dealership experience. That's why they have pickup and drop-off delivery service. That's why when you buy from them, Jake, you get full access to a parts department, a service department. So if anything breaks down, don't worry. So it doesn't matter if you're a business, a lawn care business, or you're just looking to cut your own lawn. Buy from them. And like I said, parts, service, delivery, they're the best. GoTrosOutdoorPower.com.
Yeah, if you're Louisiana's #1 Hustler dealer like GoTros is, you're going to have commercial options. You're going to have residential options as well. Don't forget about the power equipment they have from Hustler over at GoTros. Remember, they'll deliver in the state of Louisiana from north to south. Doesn't matter. So go ahead and contact them today. GoTrosOutdoorPower.com. That's GoTros. We make.
Thanks, you're ready. Yardbirds up. Veggie's in the window.
Barbecue guys, born to grill.
Pops, how many steaks you want?
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back North Airway off of Airline Highway.
Tonight, we invite you to celebrate life, wherever and whenever you can, understanding that time is never on our side. Instead, gather up your friends tonight and share a few stories and laughs over a good bottle of wine. Or maybe a family meal that gives everyone a chance to reconnect and remember what's really important, whether it's for a birthday, an anniversary, or simply to remind someone special that they are loved. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning, everybody. It's 8 a.m. on Thursday, October 7th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see cloudy skies with a high of 86. In case you missed hour one of the show, you can now catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of Big Deal or No Big Deal at 8:30, and at 9:30, we talk some college football with former Georgia quarterback Aaron Murray. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, or watch us live on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. You can also check us out on CST. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB, hour number 2. How appropriate this is. A literal example of the exact kind of trolling that I was talking about. That hits close to home. That makes you want to comment on it. And here I find myself in the ironic, twisting vortex of, do I address it? Or do I not? Because I feel passionately about it. But if I am displaying my passion, am I then also displaying that I think it hits a little too close to home? Like I said earlier, it's tough to say. But Sarah Almeida in the chat says, hard-hitting show, guys. Keep the LSU check coming in. May the odds ever be in your favor.
T-Bob does not receive an LSU check.
No, I don't. I wish I friggin' did. You bums. Like, put me on some sort of game day anything. Wait, this guy. No, I mean, I get it. The number 18, it makes sense. But yeah, I guess sometimes that's the other frustrating part of this job is when you think you're being objective about your opinion, but if it doesn't line up with somebody else's view on the situation, then you're not being objective. You are being controlled or something along those lines. If I don't know, like there's so many people using that call as like the platform to like, oh, you gotta fire me, you gotta do this or that. Like that argument is ultimately going to be decided on the field, and it is being decided on the field. And that's why every game matters so much the rest of this season. And y'all know me, I'm not about to spend like months and months here just talking about should you fire him, should you not, and then talk about the new coaches or whatever. Like I want to talk about the actual football as it comes. What you're seeing, because in that you gain value for the future, right? Like this weekend against Kentucky, I want to see what kind of adjustments are made so you know who you have going forward. Can Corey Kiner continue to emerge? Like no matter what happens from here on out, no matter who's at the head of the program next year, there are still things you can learn and pieces that you can still be excited about going forward into whatever the future holds. And interestingly, Jake, that's not even just the players. So that's mainly where it is though, right? You want to see who are your best players going forward. Who do you really need to address in the offseason? Obviously, something like O-line. But, like, even coaches, right? Somebody like Brad Davis, who, granted, the O-line is really struggling right now. But from a pure talent standpoint, I don't think that's the best group. I think there's a massive difference between Craig and Davis's style. And coming in the middle of the summer, I think that's a culture shock for a lot of those guys. But I think Brad Davis's resume is really good, right? Yeah. Like, I mean, and I think that he's kind of a proven commodity on this level. And so I guess what I'm saying is, regardless, there's still so much to be judged and so much value to be had for looking at each game and deciding, okay, who is playing really well? Who are you excited about going in the future? Like Jaquelin Roy, right? Like Jaquelin Roy looks like one of the best D tackles in the nation. And that's not hyperbole.
No.
The grading bears that out. The grading metrics bear that out. Jacobian Guillory's coming on in a big way. Of course, you got B.J. Ojulari. I mean, kind of lost in the shuffle, and maybe he doesn't factor in any long-term plans given what happens after this season. But, well, cause is Damone Clark finally a senior? I always get confused. Or no, because COVID. He technically probably still could have a year. He could have another year if he wanted, right? But, like, Damone Clark's rise has been fascinating. A guy that I lambasted last year now leading the SEC with over 10 tackles per game. So there's a lot of value still to be had in the actual football this year, and I'm excited for it, and I'm excited for Saturday, and I can't wait, even with all the kind of negative noise surrounding the program. I mean, LSU, hostile environment, a Kentucky team that believes in itself, but it's also kind of a sketchy test for them, sandwiched between Georgia and Florida. It's a 3-point spread, so obviously you know it's going to be close. What do you see out of LSU offensively? Do they dial back to look to the sideline stuff? Do they call more running plays? No. You don't think they dial it back? You think they keep it in?
Oh, I thought you said, do they
like
back?
Run it back.
Yeah,
No. Do they take it out? Like take it back out?
I'm thinking you're dialing the number again. Don't dial that number. Get that number out of your contact list. Get it out of here. No, they have to. They have to.
Yeah.
Because if you want to have an advantage for LSU, I think your advantage is going to be your receivers on their defensive backs. I think that's your biggest advantage in this game, because when you look at the lines of scrimmage, they have the clear advantage. I think we can all agree on that. Even if you call Kentucky's offensive line versus LSU's defensive line a push, they have the certain advantage on the other end of that, okay? I think you can make some hay with your receivers, with Kayshawn, with Jack Bash, whatever that ends up being, whatever trio ends up being in that game. And with going fast, you can create more space and you can create more opportunities for those receivers, because the defense has the pressure when you're going fast. Because a lot of times when you're going as fast as you possibly can, they're going to play one coverage.
Yeah.
Like that's just what they're going to do. And I'm looking up right now like what Kentucky's main coverage is going to be like throughout the year. But if you go fast, they're going to revert to what they feel like is their best call.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if they keep reverting to it, you're going to have cover 2 beaters, cover 3 beaters, cover 6 beaters, whatever that might be. And that's another thing that going fast allows you to do. It also opens up some running lanes because you're going so fast. You get out of your gap defensively sometimes because you're just going, you're going, well, hey, what's the call? And the ball snapped, and you're looking to the linebacker, whatever it might be. There's so many positives offensively when you go fast. Now you have to have the ability to do that. And I don't think we've seen if LSU can certainly like handle that ability or not. Like that's something we have to find out. But man, I would sure try. That gives you a big advantage.
This is interesting. So this comes as breaking down UK like the recruiting is on par with LSU. Well, that is kind of the great irony of this game, is that at least in the trenches, I think LSU is probably a little better on the D-line, but like Kentucky's really good in the trenches as well in the defensive line. But in the trenches, like Kentucky has recruited better than you. Like especially O-lines, it's not even particularly close. And then the one guy that you had that would have been better than Kentucky's guys is now starting for Kentucky at left tackle. So, again, there's still a disconnect between this idea of who we think LSU should be and just, quite frankly, who they are. And who they are is a team that is soft on the line and struggles to run the ball. And as Coach Staley was talking about earlier, we all know how critical running the ball is. Actually, should we revisit that clip right now to kind of set this up? Because I do want to ask Jake about good job, boys. It's going to get it back set up. So I want to ask you about, like, how do you run the ball with this offense? Like, what does that actually, if we're saying to do it, what does it actually look like? What kind of plays are you calling? Are y'all ready? So in case
while they're getting ready,
Okay.
also like kind of going back to it and like what coverages Kentucky kind of to pay attention to. They run cover 3 30% of the time. They run quarters, which is 4 deep, 22.7% of the time. They only run cover 0 6% of the time. LSU's seen a lot of 0.
They've gotten good against 0.
And if you're going hurry up, no way in hell you're going to run cover 0. So cover 3 and quarters, that's their 2 main coverages, and that's kind of coverages you run against like teams that like to throw, like Mike Leach. LSU ran a ton of cover 3.
Yep.
Quarters is kind of like your, hey, let's figure this thing out. Let's take some punches and see if we can counterpunch. Quarters is that coverage, but there's a lot of route concepts that are quarters beaters. So, again, go fast. They play quarters. They play cover 3. You're going to have an advantage.
So so if you miss in hour 1, this is maybe the most cogent argument I've ever heard for running the ball in modern football, whether you're good or not. Here is Chargers coach Brandon Staley breaking it down.
What I think that the running game does for a quarterback is it gives you some breathers. And, you don't need a good running game to be a good play action team. But what you need the running game for is the physical element of the game. There's a physicality to the game that's real, right? If you're just a passing team, okay, there's a physical element to the game that the defense doesn't have to respect, okay? And that's the truth, okay? Because the data will tell you don't need a run game to play pass. You don't need that. But what the running game does for you, it brings a physical dimension to the football game. And what the running game does that the passing game does not is the running game forces the defense to play blocks and to tackle. That happens on a run play. You must play blocks and you must tackle. In the passing game, those things don't have to happen, right? You don't have to play as many blocks, right? And you may not have to tackle based on incomplete or not. So what the running game does is it really challenges your physicality. And that's why I think the run game is important to a quarterback, is because it's going to allow him literally to have more space to operate when you do throw the football. Okay, it's not that you need the run game to throw it. It's just what it gives the rest of your skill players. And
it is interesting, too, kind of hidden in that, Jake, is a little nugget that I don't think I've ever heard before, where is that the data, so kind of like your advanced analytics show that there is no data-driven reason, really, for needing the run game to make the pass successful, which is kind of at odds with what we've always heard, right? Like he even said you don't have to be good at running the ball to have a good play-action game, but that it's not necessarily just pure numbers dictating that you need a run game, that actually the pure numbers maybe say that you don't. But for all the football guys out there, it is an element removed from analytics, right? Something that you can't really measure, just the physical nature of the game and how the running team, like he says, makes you play blocks, makes you tackle, and just puts a little lean on you. Make people tackle Corey Kiner, right? Like, make them deal with that stiff arm. Make them deal with getting run over, even if it's for 2 yards. So with that in mind, Jake, how then do you run the ball when you can't run the ball, right? I mean, like we said, more gap scheme, which we didn't really see as much last week. But yeah, you would think you would keep one to rock counters and powers and maybe horn boss, the occasional zone. So like, what would you do if you were this LSU team, and kind of when are you running? How are you running? I mean, you got to hand the jet sweep sometimes, right? I don't know why they got away from it last game, but they keep faking it and they're not handing it. Maybe the last couple of games, it almost feels like. And if you don't do that, then why is anybody going to respect that motion? So what would you do to try to run the ball?
All right, so when you look at what they're trying to do personnel-wise, like that's where you start in the run game, LSU has run 11 personnel, so that's 1 tight end, 3 receivers, and 1 back, 41.6% of the time. When you look at 10 personnel is 4 receivers, 1 back, no tight end, 54.6% of the time. And the only other personnel you've run outside of some goal line packages is 12 personnel, and you've run that 3.8% of the time. So when you look at that, you're going to not have an advantage as far as blockers a lot of time. Like, your hope is that they spread out and you create rushing lanes by that, because you're not going to have a hat on a hat. It's just not going to happen. If you're an 11 or 10 personnel tee, as you know, you've only got 5 for the front 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got to come up with some different things to try to create that space, to try to get to the edge, to try to run outside of that 7-man box, whatever that box. It could be 6-man. You're still going to be outmanned by 1 guy because you're running personnel that don't allow you to have a hat on a hat.
Well, what about like if you're running against 6-man box? What about when they're adding in like Cole Taylor and Jack Besh to the scheme as kind of a pseudo fullback? Does that make it 6-on-6, or does that bring in a 7th guy to the box?
It probably brings in a 7th guy.
Okay.
It probably brings in an extra defender into the box. But if it's truly a 6-man box, if you have 4 down and only 2 other guys, 2 linebackers in the box, and you've got a tight end, like, you've got to be able to man scheme. We haven't seen LSU be effective in any kind of run scheme. When I'm looking at the numbers, they've run inside zone 30% of the time, outside zone 26.8% of the time. They've only run the counter play 6.3% of the time. Only 8 times this year they've run that. And I'm looking for a power. I see 1 trap and 1 power and 1 draw. So they're a zone run team, T. That's who they're going to be. That's who they are, and they don't do it well.
Yeah, so Creek Dweller, I mean, here's the rub, right? It's easy to talk about running the ball. This is what he says. It's too easy to talk about running the ball, but you don't have an O-line that can run block. This can't be fixed. I I agree with you, and that's kind of where I've been at, but I am going to even go against some things that I've been saying recently where, I don't know, that Staley quote is just so stuck in my head that it's like, okay, even if you don't run it well, you just have to. You have to keep the defense more honest a little bit. You have to find ways around trying to make that 1st and 10 run in at least like 2 yards, and then from there try to get like 3 or 4 more on second down, probably through the air. That's fine, and try to set yourself up into third and manageable. And you know, you see Sean Payton do this at times with the Saints, where it's not, the running game is not dominant. Maybe they're only averaging like 2 or 3 yards a carry, but they keep sticking with it at times for all the reasons that Staley is talking about. So surely after last week and how extreme the passing got, even against these 3-man rushes, they should be ready. Like, they should be ready if a team is rushing 3, but even if they're not dropping 8, I think you still potentially got to try to do something. We'll see. We'll see. I'm very intrigued to see how they approach it.
Yeah, you got to do something that you have not shown this year. You have to, because we've seen them try to fake like the push pass, jet sweep, whatever you want to call it, for the last 3 games, and they haven't run it in 3 games. So if I'm a defense coordinator, I'm saying until they prove to me that they'll do it, we're not widening out with that guy.
They handed it when. They handed it on a touchdown. He scored in one of the 2 smaller games. I want to say Kayshawn scored a touchdown on it.
Yeah. Central Michigan.
Maybe I think they've handed it like 3 times, but it doesn't feel like they've handed it in the past 2 games. Maybe against Mississippi State once or twice. But yeah, like if people aren't going to respect the fake if you never do it.
And let's go to another running scheme, like any kind of pin and pull. So a pin and pull, you got your tackle who's pinning down. You have a puller that's pulling for the alley player. You have to have a puller that's really good in space right there, and they're not being effective in that either. And you don't have a true F on this team. So like if you had a true F, which is fine. Like, I'm not saying you have to go have an F in this offense. It's just not what it calls for, really. Like, a lot of times that's the puller who ends up in the alley, right? So that run scheme is one that they've struggled with a little bit. Let me see if I can pull up exactly how many times they've run pull lead. They've run it 6 times this year, so 4.7 of their runs. They've gotten some actually decent run. Now, the yards after contact, so they've got 46 total yards on the 6 runs. 33 of those have come after contact. So they're getting hit, but they're still, making some hay. So
46 yards. I mean, wow, dude.
To kind of tell you the difference, 46 yards on 6 carries. They've only got 106 on 34 outside zones.
Look, I mean, my cup runneth over. 46 yards. Let's not get greedy now, Jake. I mean, I'm just looking for 2 yards a carry. That's the goal. Get to 2.5 yards a carry this game, and let's
with the pull lead, they got
there.
7.7 per carry.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, bro. That's just exorbitant. That's gluttonous at this point. So, you said I didn't know if you had anything else to say.
No, I'm
we need to go to break though.
I'm looking at these numbers, and let's just go to break.
Yeah, let's go to break, and then we still got big deal or no big deal coming up as well. I want to get to some of the college football picks from this weekend. A ton of great games coming up on Saturday, so keep it locked. I like a lot of these favorites. But we'll talk about it next here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, or go see them off of Airline today. Join me in the MVG. That's right, the minivan gang, the Murdered Out Mini Mom Mobile. You already know. Got all the room for all the kids, all the activities, the entire family, anything you need to pack. I can lower entire rows of seat into the floor like they never even existed. It's mind-blowing. I love the Toyota Sienna, and that's the 2020. 2021's even more popping. So if you want a brand new 2021, you want to sell your vehicle to All-Star first, well, there's never been a better time or a better market to sell in. And then you go get that new whip, and you're looking good, you're feeling good, and so you're living good, prime style. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Once you get All-Star, you're going to see so many different options. T-Bob laid it out. If you need a new vehicle, now is the time to buy, and now is the time to trade in as well. Again, we tell you about the rentals because that's important. If you need something just for the day, the week, whatever it might be, they've got per-day pricing. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Coming up on a Thursday edition of Early Line, we let the dogs out and make some underdog picks for Week 5 in the NFL and Week 6 in college football. Plus, we preview Thursday night football between the Rams and the Seahawks. Join us, 2 p.m., 104.5 ESPN.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, Off the Bench.
You're about to have a gatekeeper come after you.
Call myself, Danny. Welcome back, OTB. Jake, you said you have a you had a comment that you thought you really...
That was a good question.
Good question in the chat you wanted to get to here?
Yeah. Do y'all think the lead play is leading to a more yards after contact because it's getting the running backs running to more DBs instead of D-line and linebackers? That is a great question. And he wants to know if he can see it on film. I'm not sure if we can show the film that we have access to through Pro Football Focus. We'll try to see if we can.
Don't look at me.
Get that.
I don't know.
I didn't say. I'm not looking at you.
Okay. I'm saying, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
But hey, we'll get some film of what we're talking about here because it's always better to see a visual, and we have that ability here. So we'll see if we can get some pulled up. But it's a great question that you ask, and I think there's probably something to that. But I also think that there's something to getting your running backs started. It is, in my opinion, more difficult to run out of shotgun for certain backs. It just is. You're going sideways and not north and south while the defense is going north and south, and they're running full speed, and you're trying to read while going sideways. And then you're trying to go back to full speed after you get the ball. I realize a lot of teams run out of shotgun. I realize that's what's in vogue now. But it's not against the rules to get under center. It's not against the rules to get in pistol. That still gives you the same opportunity. And when we're running these pull leads in college football now, like I'm sure the running back is happy as hell because he gets the opportunity to get something going. And I just think that, your bigger backs, which LSU's got some bigger backs, like you want to get the motion going and they can get yards after contact because they're bringing the force. They're not absorbing that. And when you're running sideways, you don't have that ability. Like, there's some running backs, and I think Corey Kiner's done a really nice example of this. Like, he can put his foot in the ground and be full speed pretty quickly. And I think that's why a lot of people, including the two guys here hosting the show, want to see more Corey Kiner. But I just think it's not as an aggressive attack when you're running out of gun. So I don't know if LSU will get under center.
But I mean, that ain't changing, right? Like, I doubt that they're going to go that far.
You get pistol.
You could get a pistol. You could
get pistol, and
I don't see them going like under center though, like traditional lead.
That's fine.
Yeah,
pistol is basically it's an I formation with a gun.
Yeah,
that's all it is. And if you're in pistol and I'm the running back, what I can do in a zone run, I can take an open step, a crossover, go downhill, get the ball, and read it. It doesn't change the quarterback.
Like the juggernaut.
All the quarterback does is he catches it and he goes into his zone footwork. Just like he would if he's under center, except he's not under center, so you don't have to worry about that exchange there because you haven't done it a lot.
Yeah.
It's just another way to get your backs on the move. And you know what it also does? It gives them more time to read it because you're at 7.5 yards opposed to 5 yards. So you get 2.5 more yards to read it.
So are you at all sketched out, though, about how deep are you in a traditional eye? 7?
7.5.
Okay, never mind. Well, I was going to say, are you at all sketched out about putting the running back deeper in the backfield when you're already averaging negative yards for contact, basically?
He'd at least see it coming sooner. I mean, maybe he can make a move.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I don't see him going full live, but there are things. And then let's also not lose track, though, of the other critical piece of what Coach Staley was talking about with the importance of running the game, which is just give Max Johnson's brain a break. Just give his brain a break where just for a play or two, you could just hand off the ball and breathe and not have all the pressure on you every single play, which maybe that doesn't even exist in this offense. Danny, this is kind of crazy. So Twitch got hacked and people released the Twitch salary earnings, the money that people have made on Twitch, the top streamers. We'll get to it a bit later in the show. It's pretty wild. Right now, I want to start to look at some of the games over this weekend. Jake, second week in a row, a banger of a college slate. Let's start with one of the biggest ones. And it's interesting for many reasons. It's always interesting. They played this thing 117 times. Saturday will be 117 at least. That is the Red River rivalry. You got number 6 Oklahoma versus number 21 Texas. What do they do? The Texas State Fair, right? Isn't that how it works? Am I crazy?
Yeah, fried Oreos, whole deal. Yeah,
so
cakes.
11 a.m., Oklahoma, 3.5-point favorites here.
Yep.
Of course, Oklahoma's won 3 in a row, 9 in the last 12. They had the quadruple overtime game I forgot about last year where they won 53-45. Oklahoma did. Texas's rushing attack is excellent right now. Their quarterback situation is bad. Oklahoma's rushing defense is excellent right now. Their quarterback situation, bad. What's your read on this game?
I like Texas in this one. Oklahoma has just played with fire so many times. It has not yet burned them. They will be burned this weekend by it because you can't continually be in games like this without having that one mistake that leads to a loss.
Yeah.
And earlier in the season, I was giving Oklahoma the benefit of the doubt because last year they lost 2 straight games to K-State and Iowa State, and then they rolled the rest of the season, ended up housing Florida. And I know who Florida had available, but they beat them like 55-24 in a New Year's Six bowl game. I haven't seen anything that shows me that suggests that they can do what they did a year ago. I think Texas just lost to a good Arkansas team. They came back. They scored 70 on Texas Tech the next week. They last week go out and get a game against TCU where they struggle against TCU. They beat them, cover the spread. So Texas isn't as bad as they looked against Arkansas. I think Arkansas is just a good football team. I think Texas takes Oklahoma down.
Do you think so in the battle of good on good, right? The country's 5th best rushing attack against 7th best rushing defense. You're going to give the edge to Bijan Robinson and co?
I think he's a top 3 back in the country, yeah.
Okay, you kind of convincing me here, Jakey. This one's pretty fascinating. Another 11 a.m. kickoff, though. I think this would have been better suited in the 2:30 slot. That's just me, though. I know the 2:30 slot a lot of times like to take the big dogs, which will be UGA Auburn.
LaSalle's oldest rivalry.
I mean, it'll be UGA Auburn at 2:30. That to me is like, I mean, it's a great game in terms of brands, like you said, but like UGA is going to roll, right? It feels like that.
Yeah,
I'm taking them to cover a big number.
But look, if Bo Nix thinks that him running around like he did last week is going to happen against Georgia, I got some info for him. Not going to happen.
And I've missed the Georgia bus 2 weeks in a row now, okay? I should have taken him minus 35 against Vandy. I did not.
Oh, I did.
Should have taken them against Arkansas, but it was almost like I was tipping the dealer at that point with Sam Pittman. I kind of knew that was a losing bet, but, for karma, I felt like I rolled the
dogs. Stayed away from
that
one, yeah.
I am not going to miss out a third time. So I've already put my bet in. I'm taking Georgia. I think I even did like 15. It was up from
$15.
No.
I'm just kidding.
No, even less than that. I mean, I just
$7,
do $10 bets.
I think it's $7.
Well, we built up a little nut here. We've been winning. So now we're going to $10 bets. Was it 7 apiece? Yeah, so not to brag. Don't
brag on that. It's not a lot.
Making some small change. But we're winning. 28, 15, and 1 on the year so far. Arkansas, Ole Miss at 11 a.m. 2 teams having really solid years, a lot of hype, and then both just got their ass spanked last week.
It did.
Who loses 2 in a row here?
All right, so if you go back and you look at this game from a year ago, Arkansas turned Ole Miss over 6 times. They dictated the pace of the game. They controlled the narrative,
That's
whatever
right.
you want to say about it.
5 picks for Corral last year?
Yes, 5 picks and a fumble, I believe. So 6 total turnovers. This game is in Oxford. I don't know if that means much, though, in this contest. So here's the deal. Both teams lost, and they lost big last week. Ole Miss thought they had a chance in that game, and a lot of us did, right? Ole Miss thought they had an opportunity to win that game. They certainly thought they would cover the spread. They weren't ever in that game. Now, we could talk about the game and why they weren't in it, but for whatever reason we can get into, they weren't ever in that game. So they had these high hopes, and then it just plummeted, right? And so they're questioning, like, who are we? Are we really the team that we thought we were? If Arkansas is being true with themselves, which I think a lot of them were, they didn't think they were going to win that game. Like, Arkansas didn't have the same expectation going into the game. It was more of a, can they cover the 18.5 point spread?
I mean, it was 18.5, right?
And just listening to both coaches' audio after that and kind of previewing this game, I like what I've heard more from Sam Pittman than Lane Kiffin. I know Ole Miss is a 6-point favorite, and they're going to test the defensive backs of Arkansas, but don't count out the Razorbacks in this one just because of the style of play. Now, KJ Jefferson's health is a big one in this contest. If he's not healthy, then you might look the other way. But Arkansas, in my opinion, can bounce back better from a bad loss than Ole Miss can last week just because of how you went into that game.
Interesting. I have not made a decision yet here on who I'm rolling with. Have you all touched it on the early line yet, Mario?
Yes. I'm with Jake. I'm leaning a little bit towards Arkansas, despite the questions around Jefferson's health. I just think Ole Miss is really finesse. They're really good, but Ole Miss is really finesse, and Arkansas is tough. I like them to at least cover.
They got UGA Auburn, like we said. We like Georgia there. The big top 5 matchup of the day. Another, and this is the last one before we're going to go to break. But number 4, Penn State at number 3, Iowa.
Huge
top
game.
5, Big Ten. Gotta love it in Iowa. Iowa 2.5. I think I got a 3. I'm rolling with the Hawkeyes. Kirk's done me no wrong this year. They continue to kick ass. They continue to have these tight spreads that they just completely obliterate. And so, yeah, I think the Iowa defense, they're going to dominate Clifford like they've handled. They're at home. Penn State's not going to win.
Yeah, this might be
Penn State
the
might
game
win
of the
now.
week. Obviously, number 3, number 4. Not many times you get that this early in the season. Love that. It's going to be the 3 o'clock game on Fox. A lot of eyeballs on that game. It's going to be an old school game. A lot of bruises, a lot of physicality, which we can take some more of. Love seeing that. I leaned with Iowa or Penn State yet. Going to have to do more digging on this one. The line started at -1.5 for Iowa. I think both teams are really set up for success. I love the brand. It's wild to say, but you have to prepare for Iowa like you used to prepare for like the triple option.
Yeah.
Because
Too tight.
they run 12 and 21 and 22 personnel so much that it's like a foreign concept now. And, can they do enough offensively if Penn State does have some success with Sean Clifford? That's going to be really the story of the game. And another part of this game that's fascinating to me, number 3 versus number 4. One of them has to lose, right?
Yeah.
Who's number 5 in the country?
I don't know. Who's number
Cincinnati.
5? Oh, okay, Cincinnati.
So if Cincinnati doesn't have a hangover and they take care of a bad Temple football team,
they're all
gonna be in top 4, Coach.
They're at least number 4. Hell yeah, dude. Okay, other games real quick. I think Michigan covers against Nebraska. Only 3 there. Credit to Nebraska, getting a little love. They've been playing better. And then I think I'm going to take Alabama to cover the 18 against A&M.
Are we going to break down, as Steven points out in the Bayou 4 chat, are we going to break down UConn and UMass?
We can do that next.
Okay.
Here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to DonaldsvilleGlassandBody.com, DGBauto.com as well. You can go to Donaldsville Glass and Body on Facebook if you want. Remember, though, you get an accident. The insurance company cannot tell you who gets a tow. The police can't, insurance company cannot tell you where to go to get it fixed. Police cannot tell you who to tow. The answer to both is Donaldsville Glass and Body. And trust me, what I love about DG&B, Jake, one of the things is that they're not trying to take advantage of my car ignorance like a lot of car shops have done in the past. I mean, I've literally put this to the test by getting estimates there and at other places. They're just trying to get you back on the road safely, quickly, with exactly what you need. And the quality of the work is second to none.
DonaldsvilleGlassandBody.com. It really is your one-stop shop. Like, that's just not just lip service. I mean, you go out there, you can get your oil changed, you can have paint and body work, you can have your glass repaired or replaced. Like, anything that can be done to a vehicle, they can literally do it all right there. DonaldsvilleGlassandBody.com, DGBauto.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Ryan Clark's in studio. We'll have our Fantasy Blitz and a closer look at the Kentucky Wildcats. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Steven saying the Michigan-Nebraska line, the Roto-Rooter Stinky line of the week is Michigan minus the Nebraska. Nebraska's 3-0 at home against spread and 4-1 in the last 6 games against spread. Look, Nebraska's actually been much improved, right? Because they looked like garbage in week 1. But correct me if I'm wrong, Nebraska's gone on to have a better season thus far than Illinois, who kicked their ass. I mean, Bielema and company have fallen off of a cliff, right?
I know Illinois lost to UTSA the next week, but UTSA is 5-0.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Shout out Roadrunners.
I believe Nebraska's 3-3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Illinois 2-4.
And Illinois 2-4, right? So, like, Nebraska's playing better. My Michigan pick is not about Nebraska. Scott Frost is actually doing okay. I think that right now with Michigan, there are years of Harbaugh failing on like this grand stage that is being used to kind of color the perception around them. Well, I think this year's Michigan's team is real. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think this team is real, and they've already won. They won a few this year. They lost to Rutgers.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
We can do it at 9. Let's take a look at the standings and some of the teams that are either at the top or tied for the top in their conference. And I think you'll be shocked with some of the teams, Michigan being one of those teams. And let's talk about some of those teams.
Okay, I'm down. So do that at 9 a.m. Right now, it's time for a little big deal or no big deal.
Big deal. Ain't no big deal.
Big deal.
No big deal.
Big deal.
No big deal. No big deal. No big deal.
I love the little aerial bit.
I knew
no
you
big
would.
deal.
I knew you would. Shout out to our guy, Craig Schilling, for putting that together.
Shout out to Ariel. Actually, there's an excellent documentary on the guy that wrote the music for Ariel and Aladdin and everything. He really pretty sad. He died before Aladdin came out due to cancer, but it's on Disney Plus. Really good documentary. You should check it out.
I didn't know where you were going with that. I apologize.
But what did you think? You thought about talking about sleeping with Ariel?
All right. Big deal or no big deal? Can I go first?
We're not getting into cartoon erotica here, okay? There are some lines even I will not cross.
All right. Big deal or no big deal? The NCAA Division I Council approves waiver to help college football teams replace transfers. Looking to address the growing number of transfers, the NCAA Council approved a 1-year waiver that will allow college football teams to sign up to 7 players to replace those who leave.
Big deal and good. Yeah, I mean, they're starting to solve what was just a numerical net drain on roster numbers due to the 25 signee limit and the new nature of the transfer portal. It was just the math dictating that teams were losing more players than they were able to bring in. So, yeah, of course, this makes great sense, and it's a big deal, and it solves the problem.
This is a gigantic deal for me because of the reasons you laid out, T, but also for Justin Jefferson and Lloyd Cushenberry and Foster Moreau and Russell Gage and Duke Riley and Deion Jones, your boy here.
Two-star boys.
I don't know if we get scholarships to LSU if it was the current rules that were in place for the last couple of years with the transfer portal and it counting towards your hard 25.
Yeah, because you're
could
saving
only sign 25 guys. It didn't matter if they were 21 from high school and 4 from the portal, whatever that number ratio was. And there was going to be high school football players that didn't get the opportunity for a team to take a chance on them because maybe they weren't the 4- and 5-star guys. Now you're going to see the same high school players get that opportunity. I love that because now you can sign the 25 players plus you can get 7 transfers, not high school players, to replace those who transfer out in the first
Well,
term.
it draws the lines of a distinction where they should be drawn. You should be able to get, to your point, Jake, 25 high schoolers or JUJUCO guys, but like a true 25 signing class, and then deal with the roster kind of management deficiencies on what happens with the upperclassmen. Those lines should have never been crossed in the first place. It was weird that they were. All right, who's up next? Deal or no big deal? Big deal or no big deal?
Oh, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but big deal or no big deal, ex-Cowboys linebacker Jalen Smith signs with the Green Bay Packers.
So I don't really watch Jalen Smith that close. Reading about him, it feels like a big deal. Talking to some guys that are Cowboys fans and do watch more closely, they think he sucks.
Yeah.
And he's horrible. So I think I'll just go with no big deal because they watch more Cowboy football than I do. So I'll go no big deal.
Okay, so for me, this one is no big deal. Same as you. I try not to watch the Cowboys if it's humanly possible. Okay? But Jalen Smith is someone that at one time, when he was a younger player, I think he had a lot of energy and he was someone that he was physical and they liked him. And obviously they signed him to a big deal. I mean, they owe him $7 million not to play for the team right now. They draft Micah Parsons, and I know Parsons is playing more of a defensive end, but you don't draft someone that you thought was going to play middle linebacker with Vander Esch if you think Jalen Smith was going to be a player that you counted on in the future. So for all those reasons, no big deal.
I think it's a slightly bigger deal. He's still grading a little higher PFF.
It's not an option.
And I think he still makes the Packers linebacker room a little better.
Option.
So, big deal.
I'm going to say no big deal.
Why, Danny?
Decisive. Well, actually, save that because let's just continue this. We'll do a little extended big deal or no big deal. We'll go to break. We'll wrap up hour 2, answering more questions. I may have a Zodiac killer thing coming up next, so keep it locked off the bench.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to RejuveMeMedical.com. RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. Go holler at my girl Brittany to share when you go up through to Rejuve me. If you go over here in New Orleans, let her get you right, okay? Let them draw your labs. Meet with the lifestyle coach. Figure out exactly what's going on with your body, what your body needs to fight the anti-aging process, and let Rejuve Me Medical help you accomplish those goals. So you want more energy, just mental clarity. You want to lose some of that tough fat you haven't been able to shake. Rejuve Me can provide you the pathway for all of these goals and more. Go to RejuveMeMedical.com.
RejuveMeMedical.com is the site, and T-Bob mentioned getting your labs checked. Like, they do that throughout the day. Like, you can walk in and get your labs checked. So if they're open, that service is available to you, and it's so important to figure out why you're feeling the way you are, why you're not feeling like your youthful self. It doesn't have to be something you can just say, oh, it's because I'm getting older. No, they can actually help you with that. Everyone ages different. Check out RejuveMeMedical.com to get that consultation.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, Hunt, and Hill, The Early Line. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts.
It's week 6 in the prep football season, and we get you started Friday with Louisiana Prep Preview at 6. Catholic High and East Ascension kick off at 7, immediately followed by a full 2 hours of Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on YouTube, CST, and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Big deal or no big deal? Gambling on Madden streams. I don't know. That's
no big
wild,
deal.
Big deal or no big deal? A team of independent cold case investigators have claimed that they have solved the mystery of the Zodiac killer.
I've heard in my 36 years here on Earth that's been solved about 97,000 times.
Okay, so these guys are called the Case Breakers, though.
Okay.
And this is a team of more than 40 law enforcement investigators, journalists, and military intelligence officers. So, I mean, they're a legit group, and they are pointing to Air Force veteran and former professional house painter from the Sierra Foothills, Gary Francis Post. Post died in 2018. Now, of course, the police and the FBI are out there. They're saying not so fast. They're not confirming anything. Still remains open. But this is different. Like, this is different than a lot of the other conclusions that have been drawn in the case. Like, I can't remember the name, but the Zodiac movie in 2008 had a killer they were kind of pointing to that now it looks like that maybe wasn't the guy. Can you imagine being the guy who it was, and the whole life you're just watching people talk about it, you know what you did, and you just got away with it?
He
liked the fame during the
I was about to say,
trials, during the when they were searching for him, like back in the 70s or whatever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, I wonder, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he liked the fame so much. Like, do you leave like evidence or note something like, hey, it was me? Like,
you would think, right?
Somewhere.
Because he literally played that cat and mouse game with the cops. I wonder, did he have the discipline to where he was just like, I'm not getting caught, and he just got out the game and backed off? I don't know. Crazy though. I'm gonna say no big deal until it's officially confirmed. But Gary Francis Post, the new lead suspect for Zodiac killer, I remember me and my wife went and saw that movie in high school, or maybe it was beginning of college, I think. And then we were trying to.
No, you would have been a sophomore.
Yeah, we were trying to hook up in an empty business park afterwards, and I got way too scared. I thought I was going to get Zodiac killered, and then bailed. I was like, I can't focus right now. We got to go.
Try to hook up in an empty.
We used to do that all the time, empty business parking lots.
Yeah, but like you got your own like dorm and.
No, we were back home. We were back in Georgia. Yeah, we were back home. So, hey, post after the day.
No, I got you. I got you. Ain't no problem.
Classic movie. Zodiac Killer.
That's what I'm saying.
I love that movie.
It's a good movie. I agree. Hour 3 coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Ochsner.org today. That's Ochsner. No, sorry, that was aggressive. You know what is also aggressive? The links to which Ochsner will go to make sure that you are taken care of, okay? That's why they just built the Grove of Baton Rouge, why they just upgraded the ORs in New Orleans. It's why when you look at their facilities, you will see the investment. It's impossible not to, because they are top-notch in every sense of the word. So then what do? They combine those top-notch, no stone left unturned facilities with the best doctors and the best physical therapists. And what it results in is you getting the best treatment, okay? That's why they say the Pelicans are partnered with Ochsner. That's why the LHSAA is now partnered with Ochsner. That's why colleges throughout the state are now partnered with Ochsner. So for all your orthopedic needs, Ochsner.org. Ochsner is the only answer. Also, if you want to get bigger, stronger, faster, check out Ochsner Performance Training. Sneaky good deal where you're training in the exact same ways, in the same facilities that the pros are. Again, that's Ochsner.org. Go to Ochsner today.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Tonight, we invite you to celebrate life, wherever and whenever you can, understanding that time is never on our side. Instead, gather up your friends tonight and share a few stories and laughs over a good bottle of wine. Or maybe a family meal that gives everyone a chance to reconnect and remember what's really important, whether it's for a birthday, an anniversary, or simply to remind someone special that they are loved. Rufino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning, everybody. It's 9 a.m. on Thursday, October 7th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see cloudy skies with a high of 86. In case you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can now catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Coming up on OTB, we're joined by former Georgia quarterback Aaron Murray at 9:30, and we preview Thursday Night Football between the Rams and the Seahawks and the rest of the NFL weekend. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, or watch us live on YouTube for new content posted every day. You can also check us out on CST. OT, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yeah, look, I love my Toyota Camry. I don't think it would. Why do I have holes in my sweatshirt?
Yeah, dude, that's a new shirt. What
going
are
on
you doing,
here?
T?
Weird. I don't know. The point is,
Look like
though,
the Sticky Bandit from Home Alone.
I don't think the Camry would work. I do agree with that. The minivan, on the other hand, I mean, you know what they say.
Oh,
don't come a rocking when the minivan. There, no, don't. Damn it.
No, you good.
I
was going to go with you.
No, I said don't come a rocking.
Oh, they said knocking.
No.
You said knocking?
No, I didn't.
Or maybe I did. Okay.
I blew it. You get the point. The point was
that minivan ain't rocking now.
Yeah, the point was don't come and knocking when the minivan's rocking.
I mean, I got a 12 passenger, so.
Choo, boy. What do you like, Caligula up in there? You're just having orgies on deck?
Oh my God.
Just like more people like, who all wants to come after the party? Come on, we got plenty of room.
Better than a Volkswagen Jetta.
It's 30. Yeah. Jetta's kind of you're in line with the sedan. Life's hard, especially for the big boys. No doubt about that.
Wait, who's got the Volkswagen?
I used to.
Wow. I love it. Yep, it's me, y'all. Wow, he didn't play the Stranger Things intro. Fire Danny. Once again, Danny, you have missed your once per show at the beginning of the hour. It's either 8 or 9 hours to play the Stranger Things intro.
Danny. Yeah, old Danny boy.
Man, you know, he's just like an artist. He's just like an artist. You know, sometimes you got to stay on top of him.
Yeah, we got a whole hour.
Yeah.
Gosh,
yeah. Exactly. Welcome back to Off the Bench, though. Coming up this hour, we do have Aaron Murray coming up. That's going to be a lot of fun. Right now, though, I want to talk about, what Jake was kind of teasing last hour, which is because I think we all have a lot of college football assumptions and NFL assumptions that are kind of baked into our head. Let's take a look at the actual conferences and see halfway through this football season, which we now are, or this is the halfway point this week, who is actually standing atop the standings, who are leading the conferences. And I think there's some kind of surprises therein. So, Jake, I'll hand it over to you.
All right, there's some big surprises at the top of some of not only the group of five. We'll get to that. I'm talking about Power 5 conferences. There's some teams that we just don't see ever in this position. So we'll lay out the teams that we're used to seeing there, and we'll also lay out the teams that aren't supposed to be there. And I want to kind of know from y'all, pretender or contender, and where they're at right now, right?
Contender game. Now we're
little sports talk radio, right? Exactly. All right, let's start
with
bed
music for this. Should we get some bed music?
That's up to you.
What do you think, though? I'm asking you. I'm not telling you. I'm saying.
No, let's do it. Let's dry. Let's do a little dry.
Never mind.
Dry
hold off on the bed music.
All right. The ACC. By the way, you're not making the playoff. The ACC, you're officially done. You're not making it, but that's okay because I love the fact that right now the team that's leading the Atlantic is the Wake Forest Demon Deacons at 5-0. There's only 2 ranked teams actually in the ACC. The other ranked team is in the Atlantic. That's the NC State Wolfpack. They're 4-1. Their only loss being on the road in Starkville. In the Coastal, the Pitt Panthers at 4-1 and Pickett at quarterback who's throwing for like a bazillion yards.
Yeah.
So if the ACC championship game was played today, it's Wake Forest versus Pitt. So I'll ask you this. Wake Forest Demon Deacons, the number 19 team in the country, contender or pretender?
To be honest, I don't think I have any idea. I have not watched Wake Forest play. A quick glance at their schedule doesn't show any impressive wins. In fact, the Louisville game's probably a bit closer than you want. But then
actually, Louisville's pretty.
I thought, but I mean, I guess I'm just still thinking of Ole Miss beating the hell out of Louisville.
Right.
But when you look at the schedule, I mean, I guess they still got okay. So we'll know about Wake Forest. They got UNC, NC State, and Clemson still coming up.
UNC's
and Boston
definitely
College.
been a big disappointment at 3-2 on the year. That's kind of when you lay it out. Clemson 3-2, UNC 3-2, Miami 2-3. So Florida State 1-4. So ACC, you're not getting invited to CFP. That could possibly open up a spot for Cincinnati, a team we talked a little bit about earlier.
Clemson's still going to win it.
No, they're not.
They're not going to win the ACC?
Nope.
Who's going to win the ACC?
Not Clemson. That's all I care.
Well, not what you care.
Like
but
right now, NC State's got a 2-game lead on them because they beat them head-to-head. So NC State would also have to, to even get to the championship game, Clemson needs some help.
Yeah.
And NC State, outside of,
NC
not showing
State's
up
got
in Starkville.
Miami, UNC, and Wake Forest left. And they still got Louisville and Boston College. So NC State's got some good games coming up as well. Yeah, I guess it's hard to think about NC State following through and keeping Clemson out, but that would be awesome if they were able to do that.
All right, boys, what do we think?
But I think NC State feels more real than Wake Forest does.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're quite literally a contender. They're first place right now. So Wake Forest, man, they're pumped down there. And they're doing this without their running back, who they lost in the transfer portal to Michigan State, Kenneth Walker, who's top 5 leading the country. Yeah, top 5.
We'll talk about him in a little bit.
Yeah, top 5 leading rusher in the country right now. So, yeah, I'm buying what the Demon Deeks sound.
Is his middle name Sky?
Anyways, Danny?
I'm going to say contender. Shout out Chris Paul.
Shout out who?
Chris Paul.
Okay.
Tim Duncan, Chris Paul.
That's
yeah,
it.
I get it.
That's all I know from Wake Forest.
All right, let's go to the Big 12. Obviously, Oklahoma sits at 5-0, so they're on top of the conference, tied with some other teams. And that other team is the Oklahoma State Cowboys.
Bang, bang.
Oklahoma State sits at number 12 in the country. They're doing it a different way than they've really ever done it before, playing great defense and doing enough on offense. They've only allowed over 20 or more points one time this year. They give up 23, I believe, to Tulsa. So Oklahoma State, 5-0, number 12 in the country. Contender or pretender?
No, I mean, it feels real. It feels real. And I think it's going to line up quite nicely. So they got a bye week this week. They got Texas next week. So you're going to have Texas coming off of a tough Oklahoma battle, which I think is good for them. Now they got to go to Texas, which is not ideal. But, man, 2 Texas, 2 Iowa State's actually pretty tough. 2 West Virginia as well. So some of their harder games going to be on the road. But if they can get through that, they will play host to the Sooners at the end of the year. And then
Bedlam.
And I mean, they are real in that I do feel like Gundy and Oklahoma State at times have proven that they can vie for Big 12 championships. So
and Spencer Sanders is in his at least 11th season as the starter there.
Is
that
Chuba
helps.
Hubbard still there?
No, he plays for the Panthers.
Well,
he replaced C-Mac when he got hurt against the Saints. No, you didn't.
No, I knew that Chuba Hubbard played for the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah,
we talked about it.
Yeah, you don't ever listen, so.
You were literally talking about how was it that Chuba Hubbard wasn't
Chuba,
or was I still call him Chuba? I hate having to call him Chuba.
I get his name wrong all the time. So
but was it that he was or was not a good analog for McCaffrey? It was one or the other.
He was not.
That's what I thought. Right? Yeah, like it didn't make sense from a roster building standpoint.
All right, Mario, Danny.
Oklahoma State, pretenders. They're playing well so far right now. That was a big win against Baylor last weekend. Got that pick wrong on the show. But they beat Kansas State, who was on their 3rd-string quarterback. They got a win against the Boise State team that's been very mad this season. As you said, struggled against Tulsa. I don't think they're in the same league as a Texas or Oklahoma or even a West Virginia.
All right, Danny, feel the same?
Same league as a West Virginia. That's a bold statement.
I'm going to say contender. Big fan of Mike Gundy and his immaculate mullet.
Yep.
So shout out.
All right. I can get behind Danny for loving somebody for a mullet. All right, let's go to the Big Ten. I talked about Michigan a little bit earlier, and we'd circle back to them. They sit at number 9 in the country at 5-0. Michigan State is 5-0. Penn State is 5-0. And Ohio State is actually 4th right now in the East at 4-1.
Yeah.
So you've got 4 teams that are highly ranked in the East. You've got 1 in the West, the Iowa Hawkeyes. The West is definitely the easier side of the Big Ten. When you look at the West, it's Iowa, Minnesota, Purdue, Illinois, Nebraska, Northwestern, and Wisconsin. So no surprise to me that Iowa's there. I think the big surprise is Michigan and Michigan State are sitting atop the Big Ten Conference right now.
Yeah, they've been good. Michigan football's back. Like I said, I think this is a legitimate Harbaugh team. They play good. Like it
just feels a little different, and I've been the biggest critic of Jim Harbaugh. This does feel a little different, like they might not just explode and have a bad 41-3 loss that they typically have that they shouldn't.
Yeah, they run the ball really well and they play good defense. So, and it looks like they've got a quarterback now in McNamara that can do enough.
All right, so let's do this. Pretender or contender on both the Michigan teams?
I am on the record as saying Michigan is real. I think Michigan State is real in the context of what they need to be. That was a program that was great for a minute there under D'Antoni, and then, or is it D'Antonio? Why am I getting my D'Antonis confused? There's too many in the coaching sporting world.
D'Antonio.
D'Antonio is the Michigan State, yes. They were really good. I mean, they made a playoff, but then they got horrible. So I don't think Michigan State has to be like a win the Big Ten good this year, just being relevant, getting big wins against Miami and everything. Like, yeah, I don't expect Michigan State to be there at the end of the year, but it's still a very good year for Mel Tucker and company nonetheless.
I actually think both are pretenders. Again, kind of to your point, though, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think Michigan is improved from where they were. Michigan State certainly is. And so it's not really a slight at them. I just think Penn State and Ohio State are better in the East, right? So I don't even know if they can get to the Big Ten championship game. Michigan State does have that running back that Mario was talking about. He is a stud. He is somebody that can lead them to victory. I actually believe in Michigan State more than I do Michigan.
I mean, Michigan is going to have a banger of a time at the end. So they get Nebraska and Northwestern, which isn't bad, but then starting on Halloween weekend, listen to this run for Michigan. They got to go to East Lansing and play Michigan State on the road. They'll play host Indiana. That is what it is. Then they got to go to Happy Valley and play Penn State. Then they go to Maryland, and then they return home with Ohio State. So if you look at 3 of those last 5 matchups against Michigan State, Penn State, Ohio State, as it stands today, those are all top 10 matchups. That's tough. That's tough. We'll see. See how real Harbaugh is. Remember, winning for the first time ever as an underdog, a 1.5-point underdog last week, but getting it done.
I think they're both approaching contender status for sure. I wouldn't be shocked if one of the Michigans beat Ohio State this year. I like what both of them are doing, honestly. I heard Jim Harbaugh is trying to go younger in his coaching staff, having a much better time relating to his players. That's been responsible for the success. And then I'm a huge Mel Tucker fan. Y'all already know Kenneth Walker's a beast, as Hester said, and he's done a great job turning around that program. They play really good defense too. I think they're both contenders. Maybe not to win the conference, but they're both good teams.
And then what was it? What did you say about Michigan first before you talk about Mel Tucker?
That his coaching staff.
Oh,
made a lot of changes.
He's also reportedly really this offseason picked John Harbaugh's brain about how he's structured the Ravens, and he's trying to emulate a lot of that. And it seems like it's paying dividends. We'll see. I'm
going to say pretenders. I think, just like Jacob said, Michigan. Ohio State and Penn State are better than both of them, I feel like.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. The question is, are they better than Iowa? That's the question.
Yeah. Big Ten got a lot of
Big Ten's got a lot
of juice right now. Yeah, they got some juice to them.
Man, they're good.
All right, let's go out west to the Pac-12 conference. It is not USC. It's not Utah. It's not UCLA. It's not Oregon. It's not Stanford. It's not Washington that right now sit in the best spot in the Pac-12. It is the Oregon State Beavers in the north at 4-1. They got a couple of really nice victories on their resume within the Pac-12 conference.
Shout out
Arizona
Smith.
State is 4-1 atop the South in the Pac-12.
Well, obviously, unfortunately for Oregon State, while I love my guy John Smith, shout out, losing to Purdue in week 1 just scares me too much to give them official contender
Did you watch
status.
that game? It was a weird.
I did not watch the game. No, I did
yeah.
not watch Oregon State Purdue week 1. I don't have a sickness.
Sickness? I didn't even have any money on the game. I'm just watching it.
What? You didn't even have a rooting interest money-wise in the game? Damn. No, I mean, good on Oregon State. A couple nice wins for them. But no, I mean, the Pac-12's not making the playoff, right?
No. Oregon doesn't have enough left on their schedule, in my opinion, unless teams just implode in front of them.
So let's do the playoff thing for a second real quick. So if the Pac-12 and the ACC are not making the playoff, which is becoming apparent from here, we know the Big Ten will make the playoff. It kind of feels like Georgia and Bama will both have a very good shot of getting in. So the kind of question is, if a Cincinnati is going to get in, do they make it over the Big 12? Like Oklahoma State and Gundy would have to be the ones. Them or Oklahoma, I guess. They would maybe get in. That's going to be the. And I wonder, can Oklahoma or Oklahoma State do anything that will be more impressive by year's end than Cincinnati's resume?
Right.
I'm not sure.
I guess, yeah. I mean, obviously the SEC is going to dictate, getting 2 teams in, whoever, Alabama and Georgia, if they play in the championship game, which it seems like it's inevitable at this point, and it's a, 1-score game, close game, whatever, it feels like both those teams would get in. Yeah. And then that completely changes the dynamics.
But then, does the Big Ten get 2 teams in maybe? Because
they possibly could.
They're going to have really good teams by year.
Yeah, Cincinnati didn't get in this year, and I'm the group of 5, and I know Cincinnati's leaving the group of 5. I'm out. I'm doing my own thing. We're doing our own thing. We're out.
Yeah, if you can't get in now with 2 conferences already eliminated halfway through the season.
And you started at number 8. Now you've climbed up to number 5, and you're going to be number 4 at least by weekend's end. So, all right, we've got one more conference. That is the SEC. Because the SEC, the Alabama and Georgia, like we mentioned. Okay, well, Kentucky, the team that LSU's playing this weekend, is also undefeated. I think I know where everybody's going to go on this answer. Contender or pretender for the Kentucky Wildcats? Yeah, it's more to do with the other teams than them.
Georgia's the realness.
Yeah,
Georgia and Alabama.
Yeah.
Everybody else, we are just fighting for the runoff from their tables. Again, Danny, it's like that movie, The Platform. We're just hoping for some scraps to fall down here so we can gobble them up.
It kind of just hit me that it could be a completely meaningless SEC championship game between Alabama and Georgia as far as the playoffs go.
Could certainly have that feeling, unfortunately. Maybe not meaningless in that if one team blows out the other, maybe that somehow eliminates them. But, yeah, it's going to have the feeling of one of those weirds. Okay, y'all play, and then, we'll run it back in a couple of weeks, and y'all can play again.
Yeah, nobody knows what it's like to win a natty without winning your conference, like Bama. They've got that down.
Yeah, I know.
They know exactly how to get that done.
But at least this time they'd actually have to play an SEC championship game. That's the frustrating part about the last couple times is they gotten an extra week of rest, essentially, to get ready for the playoff. Like that, I have a problem honoring. Like I have a problem rewarding that.
That is wild. Like think about that. Like hanging up. Like you've got a natty flag. Which look, they went out and did it. This isn't like throwing straight hate at them. They have a natty flag hanging, but they don't have a Western Division title.
Yeah, not even a Western Division for 2 of their natties. It's wild, dude. All right, that's right. I stack West titles, baby.
Whoa. We've got a group of 5. BYU and UTSA are both undefeated. BYU independent, UTSA Conference USA. No, I'm just kidding. We can get a break.
I've been doing a lot of research on the Ensign Group, which is the Mormon Secret Investment Fund.
Yeah, me too.
And, if you're betting against BYU, you're just betting against billions upon billions of dollars. They're just too powerful, too strong, and they don't get taxed. Give me BYU all day. Very real.
BYU Pac-12 champions, just like Arkansas is Texas State champions.
Yep. 3-0 against Pac-12.
Liberty was almost the ACC champion last year. They almost won 3 games against the ACC last year.
Also, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I do like BYU this weekend -5 against Boise State at home. That's going to be a great 2:30 game there. Boise's kind of fallen off.
2-3?
A bit, yeah. First time in a long time they've been bad. All right, when we get back, more OTB. We still got Aaron Murray coming up at 9:30. Keep it locked here on 104.5 ESPN.
OTB, OT.
Go to AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com. You got any heating, electrical, any cooling needs? Boys, scoonches of fall are in the air, okay? Right? Y'all been feeling the morning, right? When you step outside, it feels a little good.
Sure.
In the afternoon, it's not getting mind-numbingly hot anymore, meaning you may have to be running that heater soon. Go ahead and get AccuTemp out there. Get your entire system looked at, okay? We know the weather can bounce back and forth. Get your AC, your heating, everything. And when you start to work with AccuTemp, trust me, you're going to be blown away by the customer experience. And I know you're going to go back because it's better than anything you've ever used. Just try them, AccuTempBR.com.
That is the site where you'll find over 12,000 reviews of AccuTemp. And not just like AccuTemp as a business. Like you can certainly find that, but just breaks it down by technician. So you know like exactly who's in your home, how they've done with other customers. It breaks it down into every small detail. That way you trust the person that's in your home. Again, you can find all that online at AccuTempBR.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Wednesday's edition of Hunt and Hill coming at you. We'll hear from Ed Orgeron as he meets with the LSU teleconference. And did Jeremy's Evil Empire get it done? We're talking about it. Hunt and Hill, noon to 2 weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
2021 has come with its fair share of challenges, but 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Citizens Bank and Trust want to make things a little easier on your budget by making your groceries for an entire year a $4,800 value. And even if you don't win the grand prize, we're awarding second chance prizes of $150 gift cards to High Neighbor Supermarkets. It's the free groceries for a year sweepstakes powered by Citizens Bank and Trust, High Neighbor, and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Register now at 1045ESPN.com.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Que pasa? Welcome back. OTB. T-Bob, Mario, Danny hanging out with you. Little gasolina for you coming up this hour. We got Aaron Murray. He'll be back on here in not too long. Greg Lamont asking, what was the take on the O caller last night? Again, if you want to rewind 7:15, we talked about it, but I think the most succinct way of putting it is that, and I've been here, I think that O was dumb to respond. You don't respond to that. I think given the context of what's going on right now, too, the actual response is dumb as well because it's dumb because people are going to do exactly what they're doing right now, which is like he had a death threat against a fan, which, yes, I get it, literally the hole in the bayou or whatever. Like, I guess technically that's what it is, But if you're that person, you're the same person that got James Gunn taken off of Guardians of the Galaxy, because as a young comedian, he made a bunch of like off-color jokes, trying to be like a Jeselnik, trying to be like edgy and talk about things you shouldn't. And then you dug those up, took them complete, out of context years and years later, and treated them very seriously. Something that was not serious, treated it very seriously. And now James Gunn got taken off of Guardians of the Galaxy, which is probably for the best because he made Suicide Squad, which I think is actually better than Guardians and awesome. So I guess it all works out in the end. But no, so I think responding is dumb inherently, even though I do it too sometimes. Like I said, sometimes it gets to you. And I think that what he said was arguably even dumber. But at the end of the day, I think the people calling this a death threat and being all like, I hate using this term, but kind of clutching their pearls about it. I think they're being pretty dumb as well, quite frankly. Mine for Ren, I would grow a beard. Somebody's asked if I use Just for Men. No Just for Men. No Just for Men. This is all natural coloring. I would love a little salt and pepper. I'm sure it's coming in soon. Dealing with y'all in chat every day. Can't be too far away. But no, I mean, look, salt and pepper is my dream. I think that when you hit salt and pepper, like I would buy the Just for Men salt and pepper way before I would ever buy any like all black dye or all brown dye. I'm trying to look a little refined. Like I got Jeff Duncan, who we push back to tomorrow. He had a little, I do it all the time, whatever. We're going to talk tomorrow. But he has those perfectly grayed temples. There is nothing more wise looking when you just go gray at the temples. Also, it kind of reminds me of when Hal Jordan, it reminds me of when Hal Jordan became Parallax and his temples went gray and he destroyed the Green Lantern Corps. Which,
Did your dad go like straight gray? Like, did he like skip salt and pepper?
No. He went, he went gray fast. That is true. And yeah, he's like full white now.
Yeah.
Basically. But yeah, he had a salt and pepper. He had a salt and pepper for a while there.
I don't remember really.
Yeah, I don't really remember either as much. But it definitely, it feels overnight, I guess, like a lot of things in life do. Hey, if you're listening to us and you're like, man, I want to do radio or something, don't do radio. Get yourself a computer and start streaming. And although you probably missed the boat here, if you get big enough, you can make a ton of money. You heard of Twitch.com, Jake?
Yeah.
Sure you can. I don't look.
I've heard of Twitch.
I'm just making sure. Making sure here. Well, for those that haven't, Twitch is a video game streaming site. Amazon bought it a few years back for $1 billion. And there's all kind of ways where you can make money streaming on Twitch. Funnily enough, it's a lot kind of influenced by like the cam girl scene and how that developed over the years, because a lot of the ways you make money, people either subscribe to you or they give you tips and donations. So somebody hacked Twitch, and this has always been a weird unknown, right? How much money do the big streamers actually make? And we've never really known. Shout out Zach Mo in the chat who sent this my way. But somebody hacked Twitch, and the numbers are out there, and guys have been basically saying, yeah, it's correct. But here are, and this is just money through Twitch. It's not YouTube, not merchandise, nothing else. The top 5 Twitch streamers. Number 1 on this list. This is the amount of money they got paid since August 2020, I believe. Excuse me, since August 2019. Yeah, August 2019. Critical Role, which is a Dungeons and Dragons channel. Very
definitely
good.
knew that.
Matthew Mercer. It's just an incredible channel. It's got, you remember, you ever watch True Blood?
Absolutely.
Okay, you know the jacked up wolf guy, Joe Magliano or whatever his name is? He's secretly one of the biggest nerds in the world. He wrote an entire visual history of Dungeons and Dragons that is a beautiful book. I'd recommend anybody. Like, huge nerd. He's on Critical Role. Others. He actually has a secret D&D, not secret, but he has a celebrity D&D group that isn't on camera or anything, with like Vince Vaughn and a bunch of others. They get together and play D&D all the time. Anyway.
Nice.
Critical Role made $9.6 million. 9.6, number 1. I'm sure many have heard of XQC. He was an Overwatch guy. Now he's just kind of a general variety streamer. 8.4 million. He's either like Spanish or French, and he just acts crazy all the time. Summit 1G, older dude, shooter mainly. Little GTA pixel play. He made 5.8 million. A couple of Fortnite bros in here. I'm sure you ever heard your kids talk about Tfue?
Yeah.
Or Nick Merckx?
Yep.
Okay, well, they're at 5.2 and $5 million a piece. In all, though, over 80 streamers since August 2019 have made $1 million off of Twitch alone. So if you're a kid out there,
it's a lot of it. Don't take it like playing around with video games. It is a lot of work that goes into
Hell
it.
yeah, it's a lot of work. It ain't easy. It ain't easy, bro. When you do a Twitch stream, it's not unlike doing this show, only there's no commercial breaks and you have to be on for 8 hours straight.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be on. Not only do you have to be playing the game well, but you got to be trying to be entertaining. You got to stay up to date with chat. Like, it's overwhelming. And, you know, the guys that are good at it, that's why they make this so much money. Like, I'm like a parrot where I sometimes just accidentally, like, take mannerisms thing. And I know I've taken mannerisms from multiple people on this list. But, like, one guy that I love is this guy, Asmongold. And I'm from like an entertainment on-air broadcast standpoint, I'm always very impressed with his energy levels, how he's able to keep it up. My guy Asmongold, number 14 on this list, $2.5 million in that time. Damn. You got to love these names, too. Moon, The Real Nasi, Co Carnage. I haven't heard a lot of people. Tim the Tap Man, I've heard of him. Altoar.
Tim the Tool Man?
Lyric. Yeah.
Tim Allen?
Yeah, actually, I mean, that is, I think, what it is a play on. It's funny, Ninja's, ever since Ninja, he used to be the biggest dog in this space, but ever since his switch over to Mixer and subsequent return, he's now down to 46. Only made 1.3 mil. Poor Ninja. How's he doing? Wow, even Dr. Lupo's in front of him. Anyway, that's pretty fascinating stuff. If you're into Twitch, you're into streaming. Coming up next here on Off the Bench, let's talk to Aaron Murray. All-time leading passer for the SEC, right?
Got it,
Yeah, a ton of SEC records for Aaron Murray. We'll talk to him next here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
All right, go to Louisiana811.com. On the website, you will see the law that we tell you about every single day in the state of Louisiana, and that is the Louisiana Underground Utilities and Facilities Damage Prevention Law. That means if you're putting a shovel in the ground in the state of Louisiana, you have to dial 811 before you dig. Now, because it is the law, they make it extremely easy for you. They actually take all the work out of your hands, and they come out and they take care of it, right? You dial 811, you tell them what you've got going on and where you need them to show up to mark the buried lines, and they're going to do that in 1 to 2 business days. They do this for the safety of you and those around you, right? Because the buried power lines in Louisiana sometimes are very close to the surface. Water lines, like whatever it might be. Like, you don't want to be that guy that hits a water line, and then all of a sudden you've either like flooded your yard, your neighbor's yard, or maybe even the whole neighborhood, right? So don't be that guy. Make sure you know exactly where you're digging. Dial 811 before you dig. Louisiana811.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, Hunt, and Hill, the early line. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been...
Coming up on a Thursday edition of Early Line, we let the dogs out and make some underdog picks for Week 5 in the NFL and Week 6 in college football. Plus, we preview Thursday night football between the Rams and the Seahawks. Join us, 2 p.m., 104.5 ESPN.
OTV OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Damn, although Avocen is still unconfirmed, I guess there's Reddit rumors that Nick Merck signed a 4-year, $75 million deal with Twitch. Shout out Nick Merckx. What I love about him, he actually plays with a controller. Even though he plays on PC. Yeah, even though mouse and keyboard is actually just like objectively better, Nick Merckx holds it down for everybody that wants to still be a beast with a controller. Shout out to you, Nick Merckx. Let's go to another guy who holds it down for anybody who wants to be the SEC's all-time leading passer, and that is CBS Zone, Aaron Murray. Aaron, what's up, dude? Thank you so much for waking up with us.
What's up, fellas? I'm T-Bob. Last weekend, I made you and our boy CC proud. Had a game in L.A. and had to make a little trip to Universal. It was absolutely tremendous. Got little man some Harry Potter gear. Yep. He's got a little Letterman Harry Potter jacket.
Yes.
Gryffindor man. I mean, he just looks, phenomenal. He's ready for the fall.
Yeah, so I was actually going to ask for that because it is Halloween season, and Aaron is a massive Harry Potter nerd. So did you do the whole deal? Did he get to go? Now, he's tiny, so I guess he's not here yet. But, like, when you got your robes, did you go to Madame Malkin's, and did you go and do the wand selection, Ollivanders? You did the whole 9?
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been before, so I got myself a wand.
Okay.
I got myself a robe at the house. Unfortunately, little man was still in Atlanta. Grandma and Grandpa were taking care of him.
Yeah.
While the wife and I went out there, but we came back, and like I said, he's decked up with plenty of gear if we decide to go the Harry Potter route for Halloween here for the next few weeks.
Not to brag, Aaron, but one of my boys, Jay Parker's actually throwing a little Harry Potter party next weekend. Can't wait. Already got my robes ready to roll. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
I would love to be in the room with you guys as we talk about this, and Hester's just listening in.
Jake's gonna come. Jake's coming to the Harry Potter party. He's not actually coming to the Harry Potter party. Yeah. Okay, but that's not why we brought you on, Aaron. We brought you on to talk about football. October means Halloween. It also means football. Let's start with Max Johnson. Give us an outsider perspective because it's the streets are pretty hot right now around Baton Rouge, and people are catching strays left and right. What's your opinion of how Max Johnson's played so far this year?
You know what I want to do, and I was joking yesterday with some buddies when I was at Georgia's practice, and obviously we all know the shenanigans going with Georgia's quarterback situation right now. Is he playing? Is he not? Can he stay healthy? Stetson, the quarterback, and I was like, man, you know what we need to do? We need to reach out to Max Johnson, get him to transfer in next year, and have him be QB1. So I'm going to throw it out there right now. Max Johnson, the Dogs need a QB here in the next year or two. No, I think Max is going to be the best quarterback in the SEC next season. He has to be Superman. I mean, it's kind of like I got the game this weekend, Auburn versus Georgia, and Bo Nix has to be Superman every single play. And that's what he has to do. He has to be able to run the ball. He's got to be able to throw it. The running game has been non-existent. It's a lot to put on the shoulders of a young QB, but I think he's played great this season. Wasn't his best game last week, but golly, some of the throws he makes are absolutely stupid.
One of the things, Aaron, when I started to break down Max Johnson, I think you said it perfectly there. I mean, you've got so much on his plate for a young quarterback because you don't have a running game. Everything is on his shoulders.
Yeah.
And also, not only that, I mean, they're doing the check with me where they're looking to the sideline, trying to get into the perfect play, and then the defense adjusts, and then Max is trying to tell everybody the protection, the routes, and all these things. And so even pre-snap-wise, like he's getting the ball with like 2 seconds left on the play clock, and he's trying to run an RPO with route concepts, which is just not something that I'm in love with. So,
well, the issue with the RPO is, I mean, it's built in. There shouldn't have to be a check. I mean, that's the great thing of running RPO.
Right,
you
exactly.
have the ability to make the decision. So you don't need to be checking into it. Just, that if you trust Max Johnson with the playbook, if you trust his post-snap read and his ability to see rotation, then, I mean, it should just be line up and call the play and let him make the decision. They roll down late, okay, I'll pull it and throw whatever concept we have. If they stay in some kind of shell defense, then I'll hand the ball off and, we'll go into a light box. So, the late check into some of that stuff is just, I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, it's the play is 2 plays in one. Let him make the decision.
Okay, when you look outside of LSU, so look, I mean, I completely agree with you, Aaron, in terms of what Max has done this year, and I hope the LSU fan base kind of will come around to that same idea. What about quarterback play? Go on.
Are they upset with him? I mean, I know at the beginning of the year there was.
It's tough to parse
through. There's Max Johnson camp, and it's like he's younger. I think he's more talent, way more potential, and you build around him. I just. If I'm an LSU fan, I watch this kid play. I'm like, what is there to complain about?
Yeah, no, I mean, look,
he's the best player in your football team.
I'm with you. I'm not sure if it's a vocal minority, right? But I think it's just a function of quarterback as a position gets too much blame, too much crowd, all that kind of stuff. So like when things are going awry, a lot of people aren't going to deal with the nuance of what Max is actually being asked to do, which is everything right now. Hopefully they can take some of that pressure off of him this weekend. What about outside of Max Johnson? When you look at, I want to ask you about the Bulldogs. You just said you were at practice. How do you feel, even with all the quarterback kind of waffling back and forth? I mean, it feels like it's just inevitable that the Bulldogs are about to run through the rest of this schedule.
Yeah, this weekend's not going to be easy, though. I mean, you guys obviously saw Auburn last week. I think this is a good Auburn defense. They run a similar issue to what, Georgia has offensively. And I just don't know about the skill positions around Bo Nix. I mean, Tank has been non-existent the past 2 weeks. Receivers are average at best. I mean, their best, receiving threats are tight end. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, Georgia's top receiving threats, they're tight end right now at the moment. But right now, when you look at the Dogs, the one thing I love on what the practice is they legitimately look like an NFL football team. Like when I was there, and it seemed like forever ago, but 8 years ago, we did not look like that. We were not that big. I mean, they are scout at every position. You walk into I'm telling you, am I at the Falcons practice? Or am I at the Bulldogs practice right now? They're that big. They're that physical. That front seven is scary as crap. I mean, you can make a case for all 7 of those guys being drafted top 2-3 rounds the next 2 years. I mean, they're that good up front. Secondary's fine. To me, the issue is offense. I mean, can they run a balanced attack against a legitimate team? Last week you saw versus Arkansas, they ran the ball. Arkansas was giving it up. If you're going to run that 3-3-5, there's holes to run the football. And Georgia took advantage of it, got up early, and just kind of, kept it down. Besides South Carolina, where they're able to do a little bit of both, throw it, run it, you really haven't been challenged against an elite defense, and you really haven't been challenged to have to do both, throw it and run it in the ball game. So, to me, this is the real first true test, besides Clemson, an SEC opponent where you can't just line up and run the ball versus Auburn. You can't. They're great up front. They're great in the front seven, especially if they get healthy at linebacker for this weekend. And you can't just line up and throw the ball. They're pretty good in the secondary, too. You've got to be able to do both. And I still question if Georgia can, but at the end of the day, their defense will still keep them in it.
Hey, Aaron, I want to ask you about another SEC East team. It's a team LSU's traveling to take on the Kentucky Wildcats, sitting at 5-0, a big win against Florida a week ago. I know you and I have done plenty of shows together where we've talked about Kentucky, but every one of their strengths they've actually played up to so far this year. So do you think Kentucky is a true contender? I know what Georgia is in the East. I know what Alabama is in the West. But this is a 5-0 football team that's got a couple of good wins under their belt.
Yeah, and they got confidence. And I love the way, the fans were a part of that win last week versus Florida. And then to me, that's what, going back to the Georgia team, that scares me a little bit too about this weekend for the Dogs is how crazy Jordan Hare gets, how loud it gets. The fans are going to be pumped, especially coming off that win versus LSU. It's disruptive. I mean, Georgia's fan base did it to Arkansas's offense last week. Putting them into, first and 15, first and 20, second and 15, like putting them behind the chains. Kentucky's fans showed up, and historically that hasn't been the case. You get later towards the season, people start focusing more on basketball. They stop showing up to the football games. So I do think there is a sense of, obviously, excitement, being undefeated, getting a lot of attention, and rightfully so. I mean, that football team is good, and I had them as my second team heading into the season in the East. Obviously there is a gap between Florida, Kentucky, and where Georgia is, but right now, Kentucky's disciplined. They play great defense. The offense hasn't been as explosive as we saw at the beginning of the season, but let's not forget this is a brand new system, brand new quarterback. Your best receivers are transfer in as well. It's going to take time. It's not just turn on the switch and boom, all of a sudden this offense is going to magically start scoring 30, 40 points per game. It's a work in progress. I like where they are right now. I like Will Levis. I like his ability to do a little bit of everything. Obviously, I love their receiving core, and they got one of the best backs in all the SEC. So right now, this is a complete team, played great on both sides, and, extremely well coached. So I like Kentucky. Obviously, they'll have their big challenge next week versus Georgia in the East. I think Georgia takes care of business, but, based on, what's remaining on Kentucky's schedule, I mean, we're talking about a team that could be 10-2, 11-1 possibly. And I mean, how great is that to see Kentucky?
Yeah.
If you're a Kentucky fan, be 10-2, possibly 11-1 at the end of the season.
Yeah, it's wild to think about. I'm fascinated to see what's going to happen this weekend with LSU and Kentucky. Aaron Murray at Aaron Murray 11 on Twitter, CBS Sports Network analyst. Also check him out on the Punt and Pass podcast with Drew Butler, who I used to play a little backyard football with back in the day over in Sugarloaf, little ATL, who's son of Butthead, Kevin Butler, former NFL kicker.
Kevin Butler.
Yeah. Go ahead and check out Punt and Pass podcast as well. Aaron, thanks so much, man.
All right, fellas. Have a great weekend.
All right.
Sir. Appreciate it, brother. Dude, you know everybody from Atlanta. Like, you literally, if someone lived in the Atlanta area, like, even if they're, like, in Duluth, like, you knew them.
Well, yeah, maybe that's like going to private school where it's just people are coming from all over, right? So then if you want to go hang out with your friends, you have to go drive like 30 or 40 minutes away sometimes. It's not just everybody like down the road. So, yeah, that's potentially why. Yeah, so whoop Drew's ass, though, in backyard football. He was a punter. I mean, he's a punter. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? But then he played in the NFL for a long time. So, joke's on me. He ended up being an absolute beast. All right, wrapping up the show, a little Ask the Bench. But before we do, go to the Relaxation Company. Okay, remember relaxationcompany.org. They are out there at Pelican Point and Gonzales. Go treat yourself today. Get a nice little, you don't have to play the bad music. It's going to be real quick. Just go to the Relaxation Company. We love them over there. Jennifer DeLotte, Lifetime Dream, Relaxation Company, Pelican Point, Gonzales. Go get a massage. Ask the Bench coming up next.
OTB, OT.
Go to GEAUXroof.com. 927-8300 is the number. 927-8300, GEAUXroof.com. For all of your roofing needs, Go Roof has your back, man, and they have a few things that separate from them from the pack. First off, a free estimate. Okay, wow, my brain just like legitimately broke. A free estimate on your roof. So you call them up, they come out there, you schedule a time, they let you know exactly where you're standing. You make a fully informed decision about what to do next. Maybe nothing's wrong. Maybe it's a small thing that you're like, I don't know if it needs to be fixed right now. Maybe it needs to be fixed immediately. The bottom line, figure out for free with Go Roof. Then once the work starts, everybody's lifespan insured. Of course, if insurance covers it, great. If not, they work with you to find monthly payment options, like whatever you need. They just want to make sure your roof's good to go. And they stand by the quality of their work. A 2-year workmanship guarantee on top of the manufacturer warranty. So go to GoRoof.com, 927-8300, GEAUXroof.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Vizzy Lemonade, the only lemonade hard seltzer with antioxidant vitamin C. it just hits different. Vizzy Lemonade. Step up your seltzer game.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Tonight, we invite you to celebrate life, wherever and whenever you can, understanding that time is never on our side. Instead, gather up your friends tonight and share a few stories and laughs over a good bottle of wine. Or maybe a family meal that gives everyone a chance to reconnect and remember what's really important, whether it's for a birthday, an anniversary, or simply to remind someone special that they are loved. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to LA.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Ryan Clark's in studio. We'll have our Fantasy Blitz and a closer look at the Kentucky Wildcats. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
What up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. T-Bob, Jake Marr, and Danny wrapping up with you today. So, it turns out Coach O has offered death threats on a fan's life not once, but twice. And we have audio of it. That's right. Back in 2018, he made the exact same joke, and listen to the crowd's horrified reaction at such a death threat being spoken out loud by their head coach.
Yes, sir. You took the wrong turn on that interstate, boy. I got a nice little fishing hole down there in Louisiana. And my buddies want to take you fishing this afternoon. They're going to give you that.
Unbelievable. I mean, just horrible. Just absolutely horrible. I mean, you heard the gasps from the crowd. Mm-hmm. Shocked, appalled, aghast, agape. How could you possibly threaten this poor student's life? No, obviously I'm being sarcastic. It's almost as if all that matters is winning and losing. Isn't that funny? I feel like there's a show that's been pretty consistent in driving that point home. But everybody enjoy the death threat takes today, because those are going to be a ton of fun listening to a bunch of people.
Those are coming.
Listening to a bunch. They're already here, and they're going to continue. But listening to people rant about how this is a death threat against the store. Okay.
Make sure you look into the camera and point your hand when you.
Where were you in 2018 if it's a death threat? All right. Cold Coors Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Sweet. Shout out to the homies. Yeah, drink them. Exactly.
Enjoy them.
I can't wait for Friday. It's going to be awesome. Weekend's here. Y'all have a great day. Football night. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
OTB, OT.
That did kind of sound like a Friends episode.
Go to the App Store today and download the DraftKings app. You had a chance last night, the Dodgers-Cardinals game. Now that showdown captain mode we tell you about, you got a chance tonight with Thursday night football. Also college football, you can do the showdown captain mode as well. Look, every single day there's something that you can play with DraftKings. And the best part about it, if you don't win, you're not stuck with that lineup for the rest of the season. You can change that lineup today, tomorrow, the next day, and so on and so forth. That's just the best thing about DraftKings. And you can win a lot of money as well, T.
That's right. You can win money. Use the promo code Baton Rouge to sign up today. That's promo code Baton Rouge, all one word. Promo code Baton Rouge. And when you do that, you will be entered for free chances to win millions of dollars of cash prizes. I think it's a minimum $5 deposit, but still, right? $5. You don't have to spend that money then. You can just keep that if you want. But again, promo code Baton Rouge, free chance to win millions of dollars.